everybody. Welcome back to the Giant Beastcast. You are here. We are here. What a show. What a time. 'Tis the season for the Beastcast. Gigantica. We are here. It is it's Tuesday when we're recording, but this is the Thursday, November 26th show / now it's a 3-day show, Friday, November 27th show, and we're recording it on Tuesday, November 24th, because in the States here, we got some days off coming for that Thanksgiving holiday. I'm thankful that it's episode 288. I am also thankful to have Alex Navarro here.
Benny, I'm always thankful to be on the show with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm thankful to have Abby Russell here. Always and forever.
I'm thankful to be here, too. I'm thankful for this to be a thing I'll be doing for the rest of my days. Every Tuesday or Thursday, I'll be here, no matter what.
Sometimes Friday.
Yeah.
Jeff Backel, I am thankful for you to be here and that your microphone. I'm thankful for your microphone.
Oh, yeah. Just paw it up right now, right before your introduction.
Rub all over that thing.
Yeah.
Just cup it.
Cupping it gently.
I'm thankful that you're in a very happy mood today. That you seem very joyous.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't in a bad mood. Just like a frazzled mood.
Frazzled.
Jeff may or may not have forgotten about the old schedule change.
Yeah, I did. Let's not fuck with the audience, Abby. Let's just call it how it is. I done forgot about it.
Call a fuck up a fuck up.
Well, look, here's the thing. Calendars were invented for a reason. When God decided to make a calendar, God said, Jeff's not going to forget about Beastcast because of this thing I just invented.
Well, what's also wild to think about is that, God did make the calendar, and he also made it to where you could never update it yourself, Jeff. Yeah. You had to wait for someone else to do it. And that's really the beauty of God's blessing for you.
In addition to that aspect, which is 100% your fault, the other part that's also 100% your fault is that God actually made a calendar before he made the calendar, and it's right in here. It's a thing that you can use, a day planner that you can just use to remember when stuff is happening.
I keep my calendar in here. I'm pointing to my
your
heart.
lungs.
I keep my calendar in my butt. That's what I do.
Do you remember that? There's that famous Jurassic Park quote where it's like, God creates calendar, calendar creates man, man creates slack, slack kills calendar, slack kills God. So
no, it's man kills God.
Wait. How did we get from Jeff Backel forgetting we were doing an episode to attacking and dethroning God? There's some missing string in here.
How did it take us 288 episodes to get there is really the question. Anyway, here we are doing this episode on Tuesday. The fun part, the even more interesting part is parallel to this live. They were doing a giant bomb cast, and boy, wow. Yes, and
I do know that
live right now
because Brad finally, after weeks of being like, Abby, you got to do the bombcast sometime. He finally this week was like, Abby, this is the week you got to join. And I was like, nope, Beastcast is Tuesday.
We can't do it.
So I'm coming back. I'm coming back when I'm no longer paid to do so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Get you for free. Fair. I get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'll demand compensation.
In case you're not understanding any of the jokes, Jeff forgot we were doing it today.
God is dead.
That's the first one. And Abby, this is going to be your last Beastcast as an official CBSI employee. Well, I shouldn't even say that.
And also, because it's also like y'all aren't really CBSI employees either.
Let's say for the current run. Who knows what the future ever brings? We have done this enough circuits to know that nothing is for sure. But for the near future, you will no longer be an employee of CBS Interactive, and so this is the big finale for that run. But who knows what happens who knows what happens in the future?
Yes.
I'm not implying anything. Like, I know that sounds like, but who knows?
I know.
Yes, and
I've looked this up before. I want to know how many episodes I've been on. My first Beastcast was episode 103.
103.
Okay. So
103.
Nearly 200 episodes with old Abby. That's like what, 185?
Yeah, I mean, you missed like a handful over those years.
No,
like
I was in every single. I was there in spirit.
Yeah.
I wasn't there in person. Anyway, Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for welcoming me onto the show. I've enjoyed my time here.
Thank you.
Feels a little early to be doing this considering we have like 3 hours of podcasting left to do.
That's the show. That's there's not a lot going on
right,
this
but if
week.
we could just swing around and make this a little bit about me here.
By all means.
It's Jeff's last episode too.
The big joke all along was, Jeff's the rotating guest.
Yeah.
He's in the rotating chair, moving around, playing podcasting, hot potato, if you will. Meanwhile, not one, not two, but 3 people
permanent
have now
host.
rotated the fuck out.
Wow.
Well, it's not really rotating. It's more like retiring and moving on to the bigger and better.
Permanent.
Whereas you will just be rotating forever, Jeff.
Sounds like
still here, still shitty, but I'm still here.
Sounds like Jeff is chasing everybody off this show. So thanks again, Jeff.
It could be me.
Let's get off his podcast lawn.
It's a 33% chance it's me.
Jeff, I genuinely miss seeing you around the office. We only really get to see each other during the Beastcast nowadays. And I feel very fortunate I got to do it with you because I think you're a real hoot and I enjoy you. I really like Stacy. I would like us to all hang out when we're legally allowed to do so again.
I would like that a great deal. I mean, I am going to miss you terribly, Abby. I don't like to think about it too much because it makes me sad. The only way I've been able to deal with loss during these times is to just sort of remember that we're all kind of in this fucked up situation together and that you don't really see anybody anyway. So I'm just going to keep pretending you work here. And that's how I'm going to rationalize and get through the whole thing.
Very, very healthy. Like, a very healthy way to look at it.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Denial.
Just start.
Yeah, you deal with loss with denial and lashing out.
Yeah.
Like,
kick a box too or something. Like if you have a PS5 nearby you can break, just do that.
I'm gonna push a pillow.
Are we talking about the Beastcast or are we talking about the goddamn federal government? Right?
That's right. That's
when you lose, right. you throw a big tantrum. That whole thing.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you see what I did there.
Real.
It's very good.
Yeah. Also in denial. I am.
This is also where I'm announcing I am quitting the Beastcast to start doing political commentary songs.
Oh,
ooh, this is real lucrative.
Yeah, very lucrative. Yeah. Oh, they'll be big hits. Oh, I can't wait to see what genre.
I've got I've got a whole album's worth of ragtime songs about the deficit, baby. It's gonna be fucking great.
Wow, the real old Paul Oak, Phil Oaks. I can't think of anybody.
Were you about to say Paul Oakenfold?
No, that's not. That's not what I was gonna do. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What are we voting for? You guys know that one? No. Okay. Hey everybody, Here we are doing our best here, and it's called the Giant Beastcast, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about some video games I've been playing, and feel free to jump in if you've played them. And I'm going to start with a little one called Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5.
I played a bunch of that. Let's all talk about it.
I only played a bit of it, but I want to get back to it.
It's fun. And it
feels good to swing.
And it feels
does it ever.
It feels good to swing. I like the little tension on the PS5 controller, a little push through some of that stuff. Sometimes I can't tell. This is a fear I'm going to have. I'm realizing probably for the rest of this console generation that I'm breaking the controller constantly as I'm pushing through stuff and oh man, did it not register that I pushed the thing down? Oh, I'm just not near anything to swing onto. Okay. Sometimes I feel like, I think I broke it. That's it. That's the one I broke it on. And then it's like, okay, I don't think it's actually broken.
Are you implying that somehow the resistive triggers, adaptive triggers, whatever you're going to call them, are you implying that somehow there's a way to break the resistance, therefore break the controller?
My worry is that it has become a more complicated trigger mechanism, and that by doing that, there are more points of failure in it. And I am just waiting for the 6 months, mine wore out, or it's not registering at the deepest thing, because it's it's now more complicated.
Well, how have you not taken it apart already?
That thing's like $70, man.
Yeah, $70, man.
I know, it's also complicated.
No, but I just think you would have done that by now. I feel like you're the person who's like, oh, I got a new toy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with it.
I'm gonna destroy it.
But first, I'm gonna blow it out and
Yeah, I took it apart and then I put it in a blender, and it was cool. I got a lot of views. People loved it.
The only way Vinny's going to do that is if he can buy one on the company dime. And I think right now we are not at the stage where we're like, can we get some controllers to destroy? We're like a little too new into the Red Ventures relationship to be asking for
I already had to buy 2 for the kids, and I also bought them little like bathing suits for the controller, like little Speedos that go on the controller, like a blue one and a red one.
Keep it clean.
So they know which one is theirs.
They might overheat if you do that. So I'm pretty sure you've broken the
controllers
factory
overheat.
No, he's making jokes.
Honestly, at this point, I could totally see it. I mean, those things have firmware now, so why couldn't they overheat?
I also bought a dock, but it only holds 2 controllers at the same time. That official Sony one is kind of hard to find. It sold out a lot of places.
Is it?
So I had to buy a third-party one. And speaking of overheating, that's what I worry about. It's not gonna
I don't know if I would buy third-party anything anymore, to be quite honest, with when it comes to controllers and all that jazz.
Not to move too far away from Miles Morales, I'll get back to it in a second. But I was like, why does my controller keep dying? I plug it in after each thing. I was even making sure my PlayStation 5 wasn't going to sleep to not charge it. Apparently, if you plug it into the front USB versus the back USB, it doesn't fucking charge shit.
Alex is shaking.
This too. I have this same problem.
It's infuriating. It was like days of me being like, Jeff said this controller charge was good, but I play for 15 minutes and it's like, now I got to charge it up again.
So
it doesn't charge from the front port.
It seems to semi keep it alive, but no, it doesn't really juice it.
It will charge when the system is on. If it is just running and on, it will work. But if you put it into rest mode, it will not charge. And so this kind
of makes sense.
It's
not. Sure it was on and it still.
It's apparently not a widespread issue. Not every PS5 has this, but enough of them do that it is a thing that they're looking at. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Infuriating, but it is a little bit of a relief to be like, oh, well, okay, Jeff.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying
it was also infuriating to be like, oh my God, is my controller broken? So it's nice to know, oh, well, I know what's wrong. My console's broken. But
there's that whole thing about the ports. There's a setting for power distribution to the ports.
Yes, I checked all that.
Right. When it's on, I guess that makes sense, but it's like the same thing with PC ports, right? On USB PC ports, where
they get sleepy.
you see the red one, red ones are red, so it's going to give you power just when the thing's plugged in.
Oh, I don't know what any of those colors mean. I'm always confused, and I'm like,
blue is just standard USB 3. But I believe if there's a red one, it means that it supplies power when it's in standby.
What about
the problem here, though, is that there's nothing in here that says, "Oh, that port isn't supposed to do this."
Sure,
it just isn't.
It doesn't seem intentional.
I'll tell you what. If you plug a hard drive into that front port, it doesn't work either, right?
That's what people are having.
I haven't tried.
People are having problems with their hard drives having to rebuild the database and corrupting and crashing the system.
So we might as well get into that. I mean,
I wanted to keep talking Miles Morales for a bit.
All right. First, I mean, we could talk more general PS5 buggy fucking woes, because let me tell you something. Guess what, guys?
What?
That console's a little fucked up right now.
It seems a little
a little fucked up.
Drunk.
It's good. It works.
A little
I play it every day.
hungover.
Yeah.
Hungover. Sometimes it's ooh, girl, what happened?
It's a little uncooked.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
It's a little
doughy.
Raw,
yeah, it's like a little chicken nugget that maybe didn't sit there long enough in the microwave. Maybe didn't become fully cooked the way you would think it would.
Delicious, nevertheless, but still could possibly.
But still poisonous.
Yeah. It's like you invite house guests over, and then you don't really anticipate how long it's going to take to make dinner, so you pull it out just a little too early to please them, and then you're like, "Oh shit, now it's undercooked."
And also won't charge your controller.
But they're still eating it
if you plug it into the chicken nugget.
Before we move on too much, one thing I will say about Miles Morales that I think is very nice. I just think they did just such a good job of the world building and just kind of the small details, which the other game was great at this too. But Miles Morales is a newer Spider-Man, right? So every time he's swinging around, he's kind of clumsy and his legs are going all wild. Yeah. It takes him a second to be oh, there we go. Which I think is just, I don't know. I think that kind of stuff is so nice and amazing.
I think it's amazing that he doesn't constantly fall. He the way he swings is so irresponsible and out of control. I just don't understand how he does this for hours and hours, and he just doesn't knock into build. I don't know. It seems just very dangerous to be.
Well, I mean, it's two things. One, I think they did a better job in this game of making the flow of swinging just work better. Like, I feel like I'm getting caught up on buildings way less in this one. Like the way the animation priority works and the way that he sort of, the way he suctions to buildings or swings around them, like it just feels a lot more natural and has a good feel to it. The other thing is I love that they fucking added a trick system. Like it is just like you hold down a button and then spin the stick and he starts doing Tony Hawk style like spin moves.
I think that was in Spider-Man. I think that was in
Was it?
I think so.
Yes, you could. It wasn't. I think it was a different button combination.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But you did get rewarded for like Tony Hawking your way through fucking Manhattan.
Then I'm gonna say, well, I know it was like definitely like a bit of a combo, but like I feel like I don't remember there being as many like just full-on moves you could pull off. But that might just be that I missed it.
I think I just like Miles Morales better as a character. I like his. He seems like a nice kid. He's like he's like a good kid. He feels very genuine. Like the way they wrote him and the voice acting on it, like is very endearing. There's something like really charming, endearing that makes you want to like embody this character and see it through. And like there's something about him that also feels like he's trying his best. Like there's like I'm still playing the game. It's like a Miles Morales is trying his best. He's like not being snotty to Spider-Man. Hates Superman. Fuck that guy.
He's a fan. He's just a fan.
It's like a fan.
Peter says some stuff to him in the beginning that's like very encouraging, and I feel like he still treats him like you don't forget you're the fucking second Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Don't fucking forget that.
I was here first.
I like Miles Morales. I think he can be whiny.
You do?
A little bit.
Wow.
Well, he's a teen.
I like him better. Would you say, Abby?
He's a teen. What do you expect?
Maybe let's just chalk it up to just a New York City teen.
Yeah, I haven't played a ton of this specific version of Miles to experience his whininess. I also really like him as a character. I also find the video game version of Peter Parker to be like not as interesting as some of the other Peter Parkers. I think I also just really love Into the Spider-Verse, and I love the Into the Spider-Verse Peter Parker. He's like, look, kid, my life ain't great right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think someone that like edge to him.
Like I was never like a huge Spider-Man fan growing up, but like that was one of the comics I read a bunch when I was growing up. And I will say for my part, like everything I have read and seen with Miles Morales has just been a lot more endearing than anything involving Peter Parker. Like I think he's a good character, but like he kind of ran his course. And I feel like they've stretched their legs and done more interesting stuff with Miles as Spider-Man than anyone has done with Peter Parker since, let's just say, Spider-Man 2, the movie. I feel like that was kind of the apex of all things Peter Parker, and it's all kind of been downhill from there.
And it's just funny how they like straight up send him on vacation.
Yeah, it definitely write him out of the game very quickly.
Yeah, just like go to Europe, Peter. Just go there, and that's it.
The voice actor also sounds, I didn't look them up, but sounds very similar to the Into the Spider-Verse. Like the Miles Morales sounds very similar to me. I don't know. I haven't, cool. But I don't think they are the same. But so like I'm glad. I really like Into the Spider-Verse as well. And I like this portrayal of Miles. I think Miles is a really interesting character. Also, Peter is kind of definitely not raw. Well done. Like we have had so many versions of Peter Parker, the snotty one, the like, cheeky Peter Parker, serious Peter Parker. Like it's
the one who's the pig.
That's right. Peter Porker. The but the thing I was worried about in this was I was afraid they'd do a Miles Morales story where it is the same like young kid story of like I could do this on my own without Peter, and I'm gonna show him, oops, I messed up. And like kind of out of the gate, Miles just keeps messing up, and Peter's like, you tried your best. Sometimes you stop the helicopter from crashing, sometimes you cause it. Let's just move on. So I just kind of like that. Aside from that,
me too.
The whole game, and this has been said before, feels more self-contained, feels more bang 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 bang. Let's get to this. Let's get moving here. I have to keep track of like, oh right, I've got these other 5 moves. I learned them very quickly. I should be using these more. I did the trials because you actually get upgrades by doing the trials. So I tried to knock those out in a circuit right away. Those opened up pretty quickly. Did all of those. Got silver on them. I think I got gold on one, but that was enough to get the upgrades. And now I'm going to move on. Like I'm doing a sweep of all the collectibles. My son is actually playing it, and it's the first more teenish game they've kind of played for my 8-year-old. But he really likes it, and he's enjoying it and having a good time with it. So I like it. I think the quote unquote bad guys in it are interesting. It is interesting to me that Peter Parker has a move that rips the weapon out of enemies' hands, and also these enemies can just manifest weapons again, which is which is an interesting counter to that move. But yeah, I think Miles Morales very good so far. I'll say it until I'm hoarse in the throat. The load times, really enjoying it on the PS5. Fast traveling has made collecting those collectibles a lot easier.
How does it do it?
I don't know, but it's great.
It's a power of the PS5. It's those wings.
Now let's get back to the problems with the PS5. My kid's account's still suspended.
Well, that's a big problem that you did.
Yeah, that's a dad problem. But yeah, that's why does apparently Sony hates children. I can't believe Sony hates 6-year-olds.
They hate children. They hate front USB ports.
Yeah, I don't.
Something weird going on with
They hate hard drives.
4K HDR now. I've been reading about.
Wait, really?
What is it
on the DF on Digital Foundry? People are talking about.
What are they saying is happening?
Some TVs are not playing nicely with displaying HDR and 4K. I have not had that experience.
Yeah, I haven't had that issue either.
Just like a lot of just strange little combinations of settings that are playing hell with how that thing works. I think it's I think this is a bit of a beta situation we're in. It's a soft launch, we'll call it. I don't know, but look, I will say this from the perspective of someone who was playing with both of these things as they were leading up to launch. If I were to have bet on November 1st, which console would have come out of the gate stumbling, just in terms of like UI, is this going to work? I would have bet on Xbox not doing it. And man, I'm glad there's no bookies taking action on that, because I would have lost that bet. PS5 is much buggier in my experience than Xbox at this moment in time.
Yeah,
but I also think
that's my experience as well.
I think that's probably some very smart engineering and good UI design and user experience design on Microsoft's side as well. But also Microsoft is very much iterating on their Xbox One experience, and I feel like PS5 is trying to. It feels like they slapped some scaffolding on the PS4 experience. I finally am used to turning the thing off. I don't know why you just make it the opposite of tap the button versus hold the button to get the menu up.
Yeah, why that perplexes me to no
just
end.
Give you an option to just flip it back or something. Also having the options in the, like, how many times do you go in here? But it is weird to have like, okay, what kind of saves are we talking about here? Okay, PS4 saves, and you can do USB or the cloud. PS5 saves, you can only do the cloud. It gets a little funky. That stuff doesn't feel super clean, but I think I'm having more issue and talking about the PS5 more because that is the one I'm playing more. It has the games I want to play. I am like probably another weekend away from having spent $150 on controllers and another $60 or whatever on Miles Morales to then drop another $70 on Demon Souls. I just needed a breather there for a second, so I just need to pace myself a bit before that tab racks up. But I will try that out. It's something I want to play. And on the Xbox Series X side, while I think it's a fantastic console, and from all data out there, it's a very strong console, I also have a PC, and I just haven't had anything I'm running to see on it. I downloaded No Man's Sky, want to play that on there. But, the siren call of console exclusive games is strong, as and not to say that Miles Morales is. I know it's a whole muddy water. You can play it on your PS4, et cetera. But are you guys playing in frame rate mode or performance mode or anything?
I'm playing in the quality
mode.
Quality.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
playing.
I don't remember which one I chose. I'm also playing it onto a monitor through an Elgato, so it's probably not the best way to play it for having it look good, but whatever.
I
tried it with 60 and I tried the 60 frames mode, and it looks not like it's smooth, but I think I really like the world detail in that game, and I'm really into just sort of like the finer details of it. So I kind of, the frame rate isn't good, so good that it makes me want to get away from that.
Yeah, thumbs up on Miles Morales. I played a little more. What's it called? Not Astrobot, not Astro's Playroom. What is it? What is it?
No,
Astro's Playroom?
Is it Astro's Playroom?
It's Astro's Playroom.
I think it's Astro's Playroom, yeah.
Played a little bit more of that. Yeah, it's cute and fun. I think, it's a cool.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm not. It sounds like I'm poo-pooing it, but I don't mean to. But
it does.
It does. I know it does.
Yeah,
It really,
why poo-poo? Why are you poo-poo?
I don't know why I poo-poo. I poo-poo. I played some Call of Duty Warzone on the PS5. That seemed very similar.
Ooh,
it didn't make me any better. It didn't make me any better at Warzone. But
that's a shame.
Yeah, but I had fun using it, but it also took us a little bit. This could be, your mileage may vary. I'm kind of an idiot to get into parties and figure that stuff out. Voice chat took me a little bit to kind of navigate some of that.
So I have an update on my situation with that, if anyone cares, where I was just sort of a bit lost with reconnecting with parties, because I do play with about 3 to 8 people most times when I play. And what we were able to do, and this didn't come without me explaining to all of my friends, like, we need to operate this way because then we won't have to worry about inviting each other into a chat. So I took one of our parties, I took our last created party, I renamed it.
Okay.
And then I basically mass text everyone. I'm like, look, next time you get on PlayStation, join that party. Like, that is our room. Go back to our room. If
and it'll be persistent,
chat.
And we'll use that.
Right. And that seems to have solved a lot of the headache that I was really going through at the start of this thing. So I'm happy. I'm grateful for that.
Okay.
You really need to all be on the same page with what you're supposed to do there. But that does work pretty reliably and pretty well, to the point where I also just join it on my phone sometimes if I see people on.
I did wind up getting the app now. It just seems like logging into
App's
the PS.
Good.
You can log into the PS5 by with the app, which makes me grateful, because, as everyone should, they should have strong security on their passwords and stuff. And typing that thing in with a controller sucked. So now being able to use the app, at least, though my phone has a bit of a problem, since it's from 1902, where sometimes the screen will ghost tap on itself sometimes. It doesn't happen that much anymore. I took it apart and tried to clean it out, but it wanted to buy $100 of Call of Duty points. And I got a notification from my credit card that was like, did you just try and buy $100 worth of Call of Duty points?
No.
And it was kind of like, oh, shit. Well, I'm just not going to answer this, because I kind of did. It's not I don't want to have to cancel my credit card, but I don't want. But just, if I don't, it didn't go through, and let's just leave it at that. And goddamn kids,
That's so funny.
Am I right?
Yeah. So it didn't actually charge through. I mean, listen, I could probably spend $100 worth of Call of Duty points. I don't know, but I don't want to spend $100 worth of Call of Duty points. I played some of the. This is a weird one. The Bridge Constructor Walking Dead.
Right. Is that just to stop the zombies? Do I remember this?
So it is The Walking Dead in the Bridge Constructor universe, where you're making... It's actually kind of neat. You're making bridges to do certain things, like get your survivors to a zone, to make an obstacle, let's say like a giant boulder, roll over the zombies. You need to make the ramps and stuff for them. If the survivors are in a car, you need to get them from point A to point B. But also the survivors you have are named survivors who have talents. And this is very new to the bridge constructing universe, at least for me. I haven't seen it. The survivors can actually move now, and will move to waypoints where you can tell them to do certain things, like launch a crossbow at something, or interact with an object. And they get 4-ish moves they can do at this waypoint. So they can move to something, interact with something, then move right to another waypoint and move. It's really much more involved than your normal bridge constructing affair. And I've enjoyed it so far. It's a little difficult. It adds certainly adds a new challenge. The survivors can throw decoy devices, and So I'm going to play more of that. It's interesting. That's the bridge constructor, The Walking Dead. A weird mashup that kind of works in a way. I'm a little tired of The Walking Dead. It's not helping that the zombie fatigue and Walking Dead fatigue. So I'm kind of skipping a lot of the story, or at least not paying attention to it.
It doesn't help that we actually are the real Walking Dead. That's actually what's happening now. So that's not great.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help that the game opens with like, at first it started with a sniffle. And then, like,
oh no.
And the media was like, and the media denied it was happening. And, then it takes its turn of like, then we all started coming back from the dead. And then we're like, okay, well, so
it's not that I don't
check my watch. We've got a couple of months.
I mean, that's not so bad if you come back. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's not that I don't think you can't make pandemic media right now. It's that you shouldn't, and maybe just like space it a little ways away. Give us a little distance from this before launching into your faux outbreaks.
Yeah, games take a long time to develop. I think I just wish it was like that game started with like, there was no mistaking this was a zombie outbreak from the beginning and not your normal outbreak. Just like...
I mean, at least they didn't fucking call it like COVID-21, the zombie COVID. Like, that could happen, but they didn't do that at least.
Oh, man. Yeah. But we didn't talk about this when it happened, but speaking of apocalyptic, the signs of the apocalypse, I don't know if anybody missed this story, and I don't want to freak anybody out too much, so beware. But there was a couple of weeks ago where that guy fell through the
yes,
freaking.
About it.
Oh,
I don't think we talked about it on air. Fell through the sidewalk into like a sinkhole, basically, to a cavern in New York City next to a building and land. Yeah. Look it up.
And then he raised these 4 turtles.
Yes, that's
that
right.
He found in some purple goo.
In some goo.
You know the story.
Yeah, they made a pinball machine.
Splinter, right?
All about
Splinter.
It. Yeah, Splinter.
A bebop, a rocksteady,
I also played. I checked out against Scrap Mechanic. It's I checked out the survival mode. It's one of them buildy games. I was checking it out as something that I was trying to spend some time with. See, like, hey, maybe I can get together with Brad or something. We could build some more stuff. And man, that game jumps you into the deep end there. It's still in early access, but I was having some fun with it, and I'll probably spend some more time with it. It is it's hard. that's a hard game, and I played a lot of these, and I played Scrap Mechanic in the creative mode, but it's tough and hard to know exactly what to do. So I need to spend more time with it, but did enjoy the challenge mode in it. I'm going to try and make my way through some more of that. One last thing I'd like to talk about, and I'm sure everybody is talking about, water heaters.
Oh, I was just waiting for you to bring it up. I was sitting on my hands, biting my tongue, just like, when is it going to bring water heaters? It's all I want to talk about.
The water heater. The thing that gets you hot water to your faucet.
I know what it is.
We really do like a Bob Vila thing in a way that I wasn't expecting, but go on. What happened to your hot water heater?
So, did you know there's some clanking in it, and I was like, I gotta flush this thing. There's probably some sediment in it. I gotta flush this water heater.
How old's it?
5 years ish.
You got hard water, soft water?
Oh yeah, I got the hard water.
Oh boy,
harder water. All right,
here we go.
No water softener. So I flush it out, and then I look it up. I'm like, okay, anything special I have to do? Did you know that there's a sacrificial anode rod that is in the water heater that you should replace like every 3 to 5 years ish?
I actually did.
Did you?
Want to know why?
No. How did you know
what it was
this?
called, but I didn't know there was a rod that you have to replace. Because the office I'm in currently, the hot water stinks.
Like sulfur.
That's why I bring this huge jug.
Eggs.
Because I'm like, this hot water smells like doo-doo, and I don't trust their water.
Wait, there's hot water in your jug?
I told my stepdad about it. No, it's cold water. But I told my stepdad about it, and he's an electrician, and he's like, they got to replace their rod.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a $50 fix. Yeah. This is how you do it. And then I was like, I don't remember what the fucking rod's called, but I'll tell him. I never told him. So the hot water's still yucky.
Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, that is exactly.
So I actually do know about that.
So there are different composites. There's magnesium or there's aluminum zinc. And aluminum zinc, I guess the zinc takes the odor away or counteracts the odor in the water, in the hot water. That's so funny.
Never heard of this.
So yeah, and I know it takes a 1 1/16 inch socket wrench to.
How do you get the rod in?
So that's
like a $50
also
rod, right? It's pretty affordable. That's
probably,
what my stepdad said. He's like, it's cheap.
It's cheaper than that. Like it depends what you buy, but for a commercial heater, I'm sure it's more because it's bigger.
Oh, sure.
So It's interesting because depending on the size of your tank, it's a long rod, so you might not have clearance to pull the rod out before you hit the ceiling. So they actually they make some that are collapsible that you could like tent poles that you can like put in there. But who this will extend the life of your water heater. I'm like, who teaches you this stuff?
Why is everything such a fucking secret?
Why is everything such a secret?
Why is it such a fucking secret? I get it. Like, no one can do what these guys do. I get it, right?
That's the scam. They keep it a secret so that you don't know that you don't have to necessarily call them to come fix this.
This is user maintenance. This is
like changing a filter, right? Like
they want you to call the guy. Even when you don't need to call the guy, they want you to call the guy because that guy can bill for those hours and he can bill for parts and he can bill for labor and the whole thing.
It's big water heater keeping you down.
Yeah.
It's big water.
It's big water. Anyway,
it goes all the way to the top.
So then I drained it, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll order this part. So I'll check mine because my water is pretty hard. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yep. And I was like, I should check it. Oh, do I want a magnesium rod or aluminum zinc? I looked them up. A magnesium eats away faster, and aluminum zinc, and this whole thing. So I ordered the part, and then there's a in order for the tank to drain, as we all know from physics class, you need air to replace it, right? You can't have a vacuum. The water has to go down, air has to come in to replace it, or the water won't drain, right? So you
like a carb.
So you open the faucets upstairs, or you do something. You open the faucet somewhere else, so air can replace the volume. And I also open the there's a pressure relief thing on it, and I open that to let more air in. That thing's leaking. That thing's got a slow drip on it. So I got like a little a peanut butter jar underneath it that is slowly filling up every night. So now I got to order that thing. It's always something. I'm moving back into an apartment. This is
Guess what?
What?
Nothing fucking works. It's either nothing fucking works, or we're just conditioned to understand the world to be this like, arena of magic little gadgets, and all that shit doesn't work. We're disguising ourselves. We don't know how things work. That's why, I always try and tell younger people to no, you should figure out how your car works. You should figure out how your computer works.
Oh, old man, whatever.
Being able to fix all that stuff is important.
I hear you, but that's way harder to do with cars nowadays. With computers in them. You can't just do that anymore.
You can't spend $200,000 on
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Look up how to fucking Google how to change your oil. Sure.
No,
but
I think.
Well, I'm not doing that because that's disgusting. But
oil changes bring that shit in. I mean,
I think oil changes I do it on a motorcycle, but it's so easy on a motorcycle.
I get it.
You change a gasket, you put the thingy back in, whatever.
Just an engine with wheels, but I mean. But
oil changes got complicated in a way where I feel like it became cost efficient. Yeah, they bury the filters on the cars now. But so it's kind of not, if you have $20, go bring it in. I haven't brought a car in for.
I found out my car battery is under the passenger seat of my car for some fucking reason. So that's the thing. But I woke up the other day and all the air pressure, all the tire pressures were low.
It's cold,
right? It's cold. So I refilled them, but you just look, that's real basic, but
entropy, it's gonna kill us all.
So
thank
you guys.
A few things.
Thank you guys for reminding me that I am overdue to get just about everything on my car service. I'm gonna have to take care of that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I bring the car in now for the service, and they change the oil. But I remember a very clear memory of we used to change the oil all the time in my dad's cars, and I remember he had an Isuzu Trooper or something. I think I've told this story before. And he was so mad at how you had to take the fucking whole end, everything off the car to get to the oil filter. And I just remember him being like, I'm never fucking doing this again. This is, it's taking me too long to get to the filter, and he had to dig it out. And he's just it's just not worth it. He's just gonna bring it in for $20 to the local place, and they'll just do it for him. Do it there. So anyway, you're right. Learning how to maintain stuff is very important, and I fully agree with that.
But also everything's broken and nothing really works.
Also, the water heater, the front USB port won't charge my controller. What the hell is that?
You got to go to the one in the back.
Conspiracy.
Also,
womp, womp.
Also, hot water heater isn't Spider Central. I don't want to be around that thing at all.
Yeah, they own that.
That's more
their like monolith.
Get a vacuum, just vacuum up around it real quick.
That's more spider than water heater at that point. They were basically almost evolved to sentient spiders until I woke them up or destroyed that civilization. That's a scary place. So anyway, that's my adventures this weekend. I'll probably be checking that valve out and see if it's just a gasket or whatever. But like, here's the funny part, though. I love it.
Okay,
I love
good.
it.
Finally.
I love it.
You love it?
I do.
Of course
I love
you
it.
do.
I
Is
love
it surprising to anyone?
Oh,
Then he
no,
gets to
I
work
guess
with
not.
his hands.
I love it.
I guess not.
It's like, oh no, this looks like this thing's broken. I'm gonna take it. You were right, Jeff. I do love taking. I do love taking it apart. I love it. It's so fun, especially when it's like, gotta buy this other tool. Gotta buy this other tool. Do we need to buy this? Do we need to buy this tool? Don't you?
Gotta buy it.
Gotta buy this new tool. It's
what are we gonna do? Rent it?
What am I gonna do? Have somebody come and fix it, and then they're gonna try. I can buy the tool, and I can fix it forever. I can pay somebody to come fix it once.
Teach a man to fish.
That's right.
Buy a man a tool.
Now,
have you ever? So I did have my plumber here this morning because. Have you ever tightened a hose onto a spigot so tightly
it's never coming off?
It's like they're now bonded forever.
That happened. I have that.
I'm not a homeowner, so these are not things I really relate to.
I didn't know you could do that.
Did the plumber heat it up and take it off? Did he like blowtorch it?
He took the whole thing off and replaced the spigot.
Oh, it just fused on there.
He's like, he pointed. He's like, see that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that thing's fucked. I was like, oh.
Right. So wait, how did he get the spigot off?
I don't know. I didn't watch him do it. I was too scared.
Oh man, that's the.
I wasn't scared. I just Stacy was outside. I didn't do it.
I'll ask Stacy. I wonder if he had to like. I wonder if he like melted. Did you melt the solder on that and pull it off? Or
I don't know. Maybe you like cut it.
it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Fun times. That's the video game stuff. Alex, how's your water heater?
I have no idea. It's in a basement that I've never been in this building. Because
you've never been in the basement?
No, because the only people who have access to it are the store downstairs and the landlord. And we don't have any storage down there. There's nothing we can use down there, so there's no reason to go down there.
Gotcha.
So as far as I'm concerned, that is a mystical land of which I will never see. But yeah, my hot water heater seems to be working fine. And other than the front USB port, my PS5 seems to be working fine. My Series X seems to be working fine. All these things are working fine.
Tankless hot water, you know what I'm saying? That's a thing. My cousin installed that in his house, or it just runs through the series of heats up on its way to you. Heats up on its way.
Where does it come from? The air?
The cold water,
that heat, right?
The cold water runs through basically this switchback of
hot tube
of tubes that get heated on the way to you, which it's hot water on demand. Hot water on demand.
The water moves so fast that the friction in the pipes heat the water.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I gotta be real with you. I'm trying to reduce the number of tubes in my life, so that's maybe not the way I'm gonna go.
Have y'all ever lived in a place where you had to like pay for the oil for your heating?
No.
Oil heating is the worst. I rented like an apartment in a house, and we had to deal with the oil. Boy, what a nightmare!
So this house
seems like oil's bad.
This house was oil, and then it has gas now, and they had to.
Did you do that conversion?
We had them take the tank out. I think the conversion was done. We had them have to remove the tank, and then you have to have them test the soil, make sure there's no leaks, and plug it with sand. Fun story, Abby. Speaking of oil,
I hope it's funny too.
This one's pretty good.
Let's talk more about homeownership on our video game podcast.
Yeah. Here we go. This one's good. So,
sayonara, Abby. Take care.
When I was talking to the guy about some of the construction stuff that was happening in my house, he was telling me about this house that had the tank removed, but it still had the spigot into they come and they fill the oil tank up. And it wasn't capped on the inside, so the tank was removed. No. And I guess they came to fill the oil up, and it just shot oil all over his basement. Filled his basement. They just kept it running because the tank didn't fill up. Boy, this one's taking a while. It's just filling.
What do you got down there?
Just filling his basement with oil. That's an environmental nightmare. I don't know if the tank was actually fully removed, but that's the resale value's gone down.
So good,
Alex. What you been playing?
Man, fucking, I don't know. I've been playing some video games.
Yeah.
Other than Miles Morales, which I am I'd say probably about halfway done with. Real nice to be playing an open world game that feels like I can see the other end of it,
sure.
like on the horizon, as opposed to Yakuza and fucking Assassin's Creed. And I'm reading that Cyberpunk is some dude on the dev team has been playing that game for like 175 hours and still hasn't beaten it type shit.
Wow.
That's why it keeps getting delayed. They're like, Jim just has to fucking beat it.
Until he sees the ending, we can't release this.
We still don't know if there's an ending to this game.
But yeah, like just nice having a contained experience like that still does the open world things that I like, but doesn't feel so just jam packed with bullshit that I'm never going to finish it. It's nice. I will say the other thing with that game is it had my first this year that I can think of video game moment that made me just miss New York pre-pandemic. Like the part early on where you're walking through the street fair in Harlem when they're just kind of walking around and and it's
food trucks
obviously it's a very comic booky Hollywood version of a street fair in New York, but it's still really nice, and it just kind of reminds me of just being like, oh, there's a street fair down the street. Let's go get some some corn.
Yes,
like it's I miss that.
Yeah. I remember once I was in Queens to be at that like ramen festival, and we like ran into each other.
Yep.
Yes, the Ramen Fest was a delightful thing. I hope they bring that back.
I miss it's weird. New York is so big, but I miss just like running into people. Because you go to the same places all the time. It like inevitably, it's like I would always see comedy, especially if I was like in Midtown. I was always seeing people I knew. I miss that shit.
I miss the hot nuts.
I do, dude. Those nuts smell so good. I want some of those hot mall nuts.
I want those nuts.
Yeah,
hot nuts
and wieners. Hot nuts and wieners.
I don't miss the dirty water dogs, but I miss.
I haven't had one in a long time.
Nuts.
I haven't just walked up to a random halal food cart and gotten gyros or fucking doner or any of that stuff in forever. And God, I miss it.
Yeah. I miss I do miss going to a bar. I know that sounds very simple. I just miss going to bars and just seeing what they got. Like, oh, what do you guys got? Did you get any of that? Oh, what do you got there? Just miss that.
Oh, Bud Light. Okay, great. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I'll be out of here.
I'll go somewhere else.
No, I'm staying.
Well,
yes.
In addition to enjoying the New York of Miles Morales, I did finish Astrobot last week. I went back and did a little bit of like the cleaning up the puzzle pieces and other things. But I think I got what I needed out of that game. It's fun. I booted up the Mortal Kombat 11, the fancy new patch version, and it looks like better, but not like so demonstrably better that I'm like, yes, this is next gen. And I'm like, that game looked great to begin with, but I was sort of like, I don't know what I was actually expecting. I had not looked into it at all, what that patch did or what it added. I'm just like, this just looks like a really crisp version of the game I spent like a year playing. And I'm not mad at that. I don't know what I was expecting. And it's a nice looking version of that game.
Sure.
That's the new characters in that patch as well?
Yeah, like the Rambo, the Rain, and the Melina. Those have been added. So, but on the other side of things, I'm still playing Yakuza 7. I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I will be for the duration. What I would say.
So there's your 2021.
I've played a lot of both of those games, and I do not see the light at the end of the tunnel for either one of those right now. And I'm staring Cyberpunk in the face, and I'm just like, maybe not this year. Maybe not this year.
Sure, you don't want to delay again? Maybe just wait a little longer?
What about January? It could just be you and Hitman. You could own January together.
I booted up Syndicate to play for a stream, and was delighted to go back to those old style Assassin's Creed games of in tight spaces, just five people just in the spots where you can kill them easily, like sneaking.
It's like a little arcadey too, where you like load in, you load out. Like after you do it, you get like a score of like, look how well you did. I love that shit.
Yeah, it's so
the heady distant days of what 2015, 2016.
Yeah, it was not that long ago. For some reason, that game feels like it came out in like 2011, but it was like it did not come out that long ago.
5 years ago, literally 5 years ago.
But it is a very different style of game. It is.
Absolutely. Especially with the new stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is so different. Yeah. Abby, what you been up to?
So it's been just a few days since the last time we talked.
Yes.
So I haven't played much else new, but I watched all of the Queen's Gambit, and I'm back into chess. I'm into chess now.
Let's do it.
I'm all in on chess.
Let's do it.
So,
you and the
the
nation.
Queen's Gambit, fun show. Enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I think it's stylish. I think it's cool. I liked it. They made chess look cool. I mean, I liked chess before. I think a couple years ago we've talked before. I was like, I'm getting into chess here and there. But I think the key for me is like I found some good apps that I think are really helpful.
Okay.
I've been playing Learn Chess with Dr. Wolf. It's an app that I love. I think
Dr. Wolf.
The UI I think is great. Dr. Wolf. The UI is great. It does a really good job of I'm playing full games, and then there's like a little bit of a commentary from Dr. Wolf, and she's like, well, I don't know if I would have done that, but carry on. Or like occasionally it's like, let me show you the other side of the board so you can see why that's a fucked up stupid move. And then after we like go over my mistakes afterwards, and it's I think a really nice and unintimidating way to like better learn chess strategies and chess openings and like the fundamentals of chess that are more than just like this is what this piece does and more like here's how the pieces work together, which is like truly I think what chess is.
Is it free?
At least that's what I'm learning. It is free to download and free to play a bit of. I have a yearly subscription for it, which I think was about like $34 for like a year of the coaching. I'm not sure how limited it is without that, because I pretty much right away I was like, this app, I like it. I was happy to support it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it looks like without that. It seemed like you could still do stuff. It just might be like, well, you've played your games for the day, come back tomorrow kind of thing. I'm not sure. But I find it really helpful. Dr. Good Wolf. UI, good training. Yeah, they do a good job too of like, I play a lot of games with that app. So I play a lot of games and they do a good job of being like, okay, for these games, you're going to focus on pushing pawns or you're going to focus on like protecting your hanging pieces or kicking hanging pieces, whatever it is. And it's nice to have that focus and for them to be like, good, you're learning these traits. And then when you do enough of it, they move on to be like, okay, now we're going to work on this thing. Maybe check out this lesson for it. And the lessons are pretty good. And there's like a lot of repetition in the lessons as far as like, if I'm learning how to like mate with like a rook and the king, you're kind of doing, it's like a similar thing of like, okay, here's one example, here's one example, here's one example. And it is pretty repetitive, but I think it actually works pretty well because it's like, it's repetitive, but like, I get it by the end, like no question,
Definitely. Like if I don't have at least a rook and a queen, I'm like, the game, if I'm sitting there with like a bishop and a knight and it's just a king bouncing around the board, it might as well I will end up in a stalemate. Every single time.
I feel like what I've learned with chess is that you really got to use the king towards the end game. I like never think too, because I'm like, I want to keep my king
protect your little
safe
king
behind the pawn. Yeah. But like, no, you got to get that king out there. You got to start kicking shit. You got to use the king to your advantage, protect your pieces, and like get your shit in the corner. Anyway, so I have been doing a lot of Learn Chess with Dr. Wolf. Yeah, really enjoying it. I also am on chess.com, which is what everyone uses.
We're friends now.
I find that one like. I know we're friends. Oh, did you accept me?
Not yet, but you sent me a friend.
Okay, well, I sent you. We're almost friends.
We're almost friends.
I'm knocking on the door of friendship. Anyway, I'm on chess.com. But I find chess.com, like I find the UI not as good. There's like more features for sure. And I also find it to be a little more judgmental. Whereas like in Learn Chess with Dr. Wolf, when I make a mistake, like my Dr. Wolf was like, oh dear. Yeah. She's like, uh-oh. Whereas like on chess.com, it's like minus 10 points. Yeah,
I think they say like mistakes.
You idiot, what are you doing? Yikes.
Blunders. Like, okay, it was a blunder.
How dare you stupid idiot. You're not meant for chess.
Moron.
You want to give up? You want to give up now? The game just started. Yeah, but you're done.
Yeah, you idiot. Resign, bitch. Anyway, I'm really enjoying chess. I mean, I liked chess before. I followed a few like chess YouTube channels where I would like watch games be analyzed. But I feel like the more I look into chess, the more I'm like sort of starting to like quote unquote get it. Yeah. Because like I feel like I learned chess as a kid and I like learned what the pieces did, but I didn't really learn like the theories of chess or really the strategies of chess. Like I didn't know anything about openings until like a few years ago. I didn't know that was like a thing. And a couple years ago, I started learning more and more about that. But I think now with me, I think this like Learn Chess with Dr. Wolf thing has been like really, really helpful in like learning those kind of theoretical, fundamental strategy stuff. Sure. That is like so much of what makes chess. But I'm really enjoying getting into it. I have been playing chess like 2 to 3 hours every night. That's like what I do now. It's just like on my phone. So I'm just like playing chess. I love it.
Chess is great.
It's so fun. I ordered a Soviet chessboard off of Etsy. Soviet era chessboard off of Etsy. It's coming from, I think, Poland. So I'll get it in like 4 weeks. But it's a beautiful set. I like the ones from the Soviet era because one, I just think they're neat.
The pieces.
And two, the pieces are neat. They also have like on the king and the queen, they have a little hat on top. Yeah. Well, they're like swapped colors for the hats, and I think it looks really nice.
Cool.
Are they?
That's why I like them.
Are they weighted pieces? I like those big. I like the big, almost like tournament style pieces that are weighted. They can get expensive.
The ones I ordered are, I think, tournament style. They were a little pricey, but I think it's a cool set. It's like vintage. It seemed to be really in good shape. I don't know if they were weighted, but they were wooden, which I like.
I like a good thunk when you put the thunk. The problem is like how you get. Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
I was just saying, I really want a board. Like, if I were to buy a chessboard, I want one that would emulate the aesthetics and the style of the pieces in the old Chessmaster software, like using the same color grading and the same sort of like jagged-looking pieces and whatnot. Because that's how I learned. I think I got like Chessmaster 4000 or whatever for like Windows 95 or whatever it was. Like that was kind of the thing I used to always play. I want more of that.
Yeah,
that guy was an asshole. Chessmaster sucked.
Do they teach you theories and stuff? Because I feel like I had such a hard time. I think also being someone who I think my dad taught me how to play chess, but my dad doesn't know anything about chess. So it was very much just like, this is what the pieces do, whatever. It took me a long time to figure out like real chess theory stuff.
I feel like there's this mystique around chess. I could be very wrong. Right. I have had this mystique around chess that's like, oh, you should just get it if you're smart enough. There's
very specific rules,
but like there's definitely this like, oh, you play chess, you must be very intelligent,
right.
And like, oh, he's thinking 7 moves ahead at all times. Everything he does in chess, he or she does in real life because they play chess. So
whereas in actuality, they're just gamers that are programmed to a very specific game. Like they're very smart about this thing, but that does not necessarily apply to any other aspect of their life.
Because every piece of media about chess was always like, okay, here's and I don't know about Queen's Gambit. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard it's very good, but like it's always like, oh, they then interact with their lives or solve their problems like it was a chessboard, and they're thinking 7 moves ahead, or they're sacrificing these pieces to get what they want, and it's never
they're
just
spending
like
one night in Bangkok and the world's their oyster,
or like it's just like. Nobody does that with any other game. Nobody's just like, you're playing your life like checkers, huh? Just gonna hop over people, or like,
wow, you're so good at Bubble Bobble. You have really mastered what you need to live your life through Bubble Bobble.
Beware of Abby.
Well, it's because it's such a universal thing, though. That's why.
I think it's also very old.
Universal language, yes.
And like for whatever reason, we've figured that chess tournaments are like legitimate, whereas like other game tournaments are like, that's fucking stupid and niche. You know what I mean?
I
don't know. Sports. It's a sports. It's analog sports. That's all it is.
Nobody's like, they're playing 7-dimension like Mancala or something like that.
Exactly. Like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
But I also I don't remember what I was gonna say, but I'm enjoying it.
You were talking about the Soviet era pieces. You love those. They're very good. So you have to get a board though, right? Because you're just getting pieces.
Yeah, maybe I'll get one of those like tables.
Yeah, wow, you're going all in. Oh, what I was gonna say is,
be cool like next to like a couch or something.
You can't have anybody come in. We're gonna have to
play. I know that's the thing. Well,
play by
like,
post.
Well, we can do digitally, but it's also like they got the thing where you like, you play against yourself, right? Yeah. I think that would benefit me a lot because I feel like when I play, I like play shit. Oh, I also just remember what I was gonna say, but I'll say in a second. I like play shit, and then like it's hard for me to like conceptualize like, oh, they can totally just fucking narc me there. Yeah. So I think that'll be helpful for me to play against myself and to see the other side's moves and like really think about them as I play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I watched a documentary called I think it's called like Brooklyn Castle, I think.
Okay.
And it is about the like chess program in like New York schools called like Chess in Schools. I don't know if y'all know about it considering you have kids. But it's fascinating, just all these kids doing chess, but they also have like, they learn, like they go to all these tournaments and they also like have chess, 5 to 7 days, like 7 times a week in class. But like, it did really help emphasize like, yes, I do think these kids are all talented and like very good at the sport. But I also think like, they just study it all the time, right? Like at the end of the day, like that's what it is that makes you good at it.
Yeah, I don't mean to like undermine.
Well, they're in regular school, and that's sort of Yeah, no, not at all.
Undermining the skill or the talent, but there are rules and there are patterns and there are there is history, and you make these moves and you become like anything, you practice and you become exceptional.
And like I think there is so much benefit from like being around a group of people, one, practicing it and discussing it and talking about it and learning from people who like do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I wish I had that, because even with like Learn Chess with Dr. Wolf, which I think is great, sometimes they'll be like, actually, this would have been a better move. And sometimes I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
And like I think sometimes the program can tell me why, and sometimes the program I don't think really can articulate that because it's more conceptual, and I wish I had a person there to be like, okay, but like why? And I think that would help me a little more too,
I don't know how to play chess, you guys.
Wait,
at all?
Do you know how the pieces move?
I don't know anything about anything. I barely know what they're fucking called.
Wow.
I think that's okay. You don't have to.
No shame.
And I'm not proud of it. In fact, I'm the opposite. I'm embarrassed by it.
I think actually you should be.
Never been a better time to learn.
You should learn. Well, not you should if you want to. Like, I think Abby's right. I think this is a great time. Like a game of chess can take like 10 minutes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, sorry.
Here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Abby, anything else you playing?
What?
Yes, but I'll let Jeff.
Okay.
That was actually that was a pretty sick burn though. So like when I went to summer camp, it was a big thing in my summer camp, and I just sort of like watched and absorbed next to nothing. And I don't know it, and like I love all games. I'll try it for whatever reason. I just never had the desire or the interest or whatever it is, and I don't like the other day I learned how to play Chinese checkers, which is not very complicated, but it's certainly more layered than traditional American checkers. I don't know what it is, but I don't know, and I feel like my key in is going to be when my son eventually stumbles upon it. But I don't. It's just always these one things like I just never really did it, and now I'm an old man, and those days are behind me, and I can't.
Not true.
And
dude, there are. I've been playing chess for a very long time. I'm terrible at it.
Rub it in.
And I'm terrible at it. And I will lose against a 5-year-old. I get very much like Dark Souls or Demon Souls, like, oh, I got it, and then I rush ahead, and then suddenly I miss the like, you just took my queen with your pawn, or like, but there are still things that I have to remember when I'm playing against the computer. That's like, wait, what the fuck move is that? Like, en passé or whatever, like the way you can like
with the like pawn,
yeah,
where it's like,
who the fuck does that? Nobody does that. That's a garbage move. That's not a real chess move. He's just making this up. Or it took me a while to remember to castle, with your king and all that stuff.
So important. You got to protect your king.
Got to protect your king. But that what is it? En passé? I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I think
when you
you're
pass
right.
the pawn and like you can stab him in the back or whatever. And
it's like you like pass the pawn, but then you land in the normal spot. It's like you pass it and you take it.
I hate when I never do
fuck?
that. Nobody does that except I guess
that.
real chess players, and they're like, you idiot, and like, how'd you forget to do that one? And then again, like I'm so terrible that I am definitely the chess player who's like, I gotta get every piece off the board before I even think about trying to get you into checkmate.
Oh, really?
So let me get every pawn off the board. I'm gonna sweep around with the rook or the queen. I'm gonna take everything down. Okay, now let's think about how we're gonna do this. Oh, a draw again, huh? That's right, because I stink at this.
That's so funny.
I'm terrible.
What's the little clock on the side where you see people make a move and they slap it?
The time.
That's like speed chess.
Timed. Yeah. I think there's also just like tournament chess is typically timed. You have like a certain amount of time.
Gotcha.
And like the other clock. And if you watch Queen's Gambit, they go into it.
Those things are cool. They make a cool sound.
They are cool.
Snap, snap, snap. Abby, I fully endorse more chess. Let's play some so I can learn. So you can teach me. You can pay Dr. Wolf, and then you can teach me.
Okay, perfect. Okay. I love this. Yeah, I think chess is really scratching the like sort of logic strategy part of my brain, and I think I'm like bad enough at it that I still feel like I'm getting better, you know, because I feel like you get to a certain level and you just plateau, and then eventually maybe you spike up and then plateau again. But like I'm just bad, so it's like boop boop boop, only getting better, you know, can only go up from here.
Yeah.
But mostly he's like chess is what I'm really playing, aside from the normal like Fortnite and shit. Although I'm a little bored with the Marvel stuff, I think they're going to change it soon, which is good. But I have been playing. I did play the zombies mode in Call of Duty,
the new one, Black Ops.
Yeah, I like it. Yes, and I like finally played with other people.
You play that top-down retro one?
Yes, it's so weird. There's like this weird retro mode where it's like top-down and like sort of like one joystick moves your character, the other one points the gun and shoots.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's really fun, and then occasionally you go into first person, and it's really well done. I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying the zombie mode, considering I don't really understand it.
Yeah, so the retro thing and regular zombies are two different modes, right?
Yeah, it's like you got regular zombies, and then you can like select the retro mode if you want to.
Yeah, I haven't done the regular zombies.
Regular zombies is good. I like it. I mean, there's like all these weird like strategies and metagame stuff that I don't really understand, and like secrets to it that I feel like I just want to watch someone who's good at it play it. But I enjoy it, and it's fun with the group, and it's just like a nice horde mode, basically.
I tried the retro thing. I played it for about a half hour with 3 other people, and they were super into it. But I was like, let's go back to multiplayer. I don't know. It got old kind of quick for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed like one round of the retro thing, but I don't think that would be a thing I would come back to a bunch. I think it's like a fun novelty.
For sure.
But I played a few rounds of the zombies regular mode, and I found it pretty fun.
Sweet.
Anything else, Abby?
That's it. That's all I've been playing.
Jeff Bacalar, what's going on in the Bacalar household?
So I've been doing a lot of the multiplayer for Cold War. I think I'm feeling it. You know, I decided to take off the adaptive trigger effects for multiplayer. Like I took off the trigger stuff. So the vibration is still there.
PS5.
But I took off the wacky, like, you know, resistance and whatnot, and I found myself just playing better. Okay. I think I'll definitely keep that on for the campaign if and when I ever get around to doing that, because, you know, that's sort of like the theater of it all, right? But for multiplayer, when I'm just trying to fuck shit up, I can't be bothered with like pushing down harder on a trigger. Like, what are we doing? And I've also been playing it on PC a little bit. I've been like, been kind of like shadily doing it with my friends. You know, like I've been popping in and playing with them on PC.
Mouse and keyboard.
And like, yeah, I'm just trying to like, you know, grease that old axe again, see how that works.
Grease that.
You know, I'm not. You know, I made that up, but I haven't really like.
What would a greasy axe do? It would just kind of slide down the thing.
It would just like fall out of your hand. When you like wound up. I don't know. Like I hadn't done the last FPS I really did on PC was Doom Eternal.
Sure.
And that was a while back. And you know, I'm just trying to shake off some of the rust and get back into those, you know, finger exercises and get good at it again.
Got all them fancy keyboards.
I got fancy keyboards. I'm working on this really fun, you know, console versus PC sort of like thought experiment video thing that I've been cooking for a couple weeks now. So certainly no lack of hardware, that's for sure. So
what kind of video card are you knocking around in that PC?
I'm using a 3080. I've got a couple 3080s now in house. So
wait, really?
Yeah. Well, one of them's paired up with the new Ryzen chip, and one of them's paired up with the new i9
hardware.
So hardware, you know. So just trying to see, you know, how good if I could get back to where I was in the days of like college when I'd be rocking like CS and
me
felt
too.
Like I was good.
Back in my old jeans, just, you know, trying to get back.
Is it a jeans thing for you?
My 32s. Someday I'll get.
Oh, really? You were 32? I don't think I was ever 32. I was always 34-30. I
was at 32-30
till I die. Oh, wow. Jeez. Yeah. Wow. You were a skinny little man, weren't you?
I don't know if it's not there anymore. Let's just say it's a couple of numbers off. really good.
With 2 more numbers added on.
That's right.
Wow, you got a third number there?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it gets up there. Hey, here's something fun, Jeff. Did you know in the New York Times this weekend in the crossword, they were CNET? Oh, you knew that. It spread around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Tech news website. I think it was 16 down. CNET. There's a little spoiler for anybody.
Hitting the perfect audience right there. That's who we want seeing that.
What? I looked into the crossword puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. You're
gonna stand here and tell me that CNET's audience is not people that do the New York Times crossword?
Those people need.
I'm just saying it doesn't help when you're
TVs
trying to branch
speakers.
out, Alex. Is my point.
Okay. Well,
is my point.
Maybe next time get into spelling bee.
How is CNET going to appeal to the Zoomers? What's the plan there?
Well, look, I'm still working on the deck. Okay.
He's got his console versus PC thing. He's talking about. That's
what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it inside Fortnite.
Are you going to start making? Are you going to make some fleets? Is that how you're gonna gain the?
No,
we killed Jeff.
What's a fleet?
We killed Jeff. Video.
I don't. That's like a Twitter thing, right? I only use the browser version on my phone. I should really download the app.
Wait,
I did it to stop.
Version on your phone.
Well, I did it because I'm like, I don't want the app on my phone. I want to use it less.
No, that's fair.
I would log out, but now I just use it just as much with like a worse user experience.
Yeah.
But I don't have the fleets. I don't ever see.
Is a fleet the thing that disappears after a little bit?
Yeah, it's like it's basically Instagram stories, but way less functional.
Yeah, no one wants it.
It's like if they just launched a fully featured version of that, I feel like people would be kind of hot on it, but it's so watered down and pedestrian.
No one likes it.
So I mean, I'm sure more functionality will come to it, but right now it kind of blows.
Nah, I think they'll end up killing it. I think they're going to look at the response to it and be like, nope, this is not worth it anymore.
I don't know. They spent a really long time teasing it.
It's very meta.
Just pack it up now.
It's very meta for the fleet functionality to be disappear.
Fleeting.
Right? That's fleeting and fleet.
I think, and the name sucks too. Fuck name sucks. Do a better name.
Fuck name suck. That's my next T-shirt. Look for that in the store. Get your tracksuit. Fuck name suck. Anything else, Jeff?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've been playing that much. Not really, just I'm kind of just detoxing these days when it comes to games.
Okay.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster for the months of October and most of November, so happy to just sit around and do other shit,
just relaxing with a nice calming game of NHL 21 to really soothe the nerves and make you happy.
I didn't even fucking install that shit on my PS5.
Yeah.
I installed the rewind one, but not the main game.
Are you still doing anything with that?
No.
Nice.
Done.
Nice.
I want to mention before we take our first break here that the sale is going on. If you want to, the Giant Bomb sale is going on until November 30th, which is approaching. That is it is soon. It'll be next week, early next week. That'll be over. So if you want to get in on the sale, you can do that for $35 to extend or get a premium subscription, and you get all the old stuff, all the hits, you're gonna be amazed at, man, how many times Abby said Jareth in that one video. You're gonna
many.
There's a lot of so many Jareths.
That one's free, but still subscribe.
You're going to be shocked, and you're going to hunt around and see if there's other ones that are behind the paywall. Also, there's merchandise you can go get. You get 20% off the merch in the store, like the tracksuits, like the hats, like the mugs. I think the mugs might be sold out again. My giant mug is still in the office.
Really?
My giant mug is the office. Yeah.
Also, Vinny,
the office is still in your giant mug, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, do you remember your Giant Bomb small mug?
Yeah. Which one?
I had yours had the colorful logo or the white logo?
I think mine was the white one.
No,
okay, good.
It was
because I got the colorful one.
No, I think mine was the all white one.
Because I got the colorful one shipped to me, so whatever was left is yours now.
I think mine was the all white one. I think mine was the all white one. Mine probably still had coffee in it, so it was probably.
I mean, mine did too. It was shipped,
gross.
and I took it out of the thing. And I was like, no. It's fine. It was months old at that point. It was so caked on. I wash it.
Whatever had spawned in there had crawled out and left by that point.
How'd that go for you, Abby? Getting all your shit sent to you?
It was like weird to like FaceTime a stranger and have them like go through my desk and like open up a drawer full of like shit and be like, so do you want like all these receipts? And I'm like, just put it in a box. I'll deal with it later. It's like, okay, what like do you want these like tags from convention? I'm like, just throw it all in the box.
Literally everything. Just throw it in a box.
Oh, this giant pile of sandwich napkins. You need all of these?
Please,
okay.
Give me,
you want these ketchup packets?
Was it Carlos? It was probably Carlos, right? Doing it?
I think it was Carlos. Okay. He was super nice, very friendly,
Carlos
very
is not
nice.
A stranger.
Yeah.
I don't think I've met Carlos.
I had spoken to Carlos maybe once prior to having to have him go through the studio and be like, okay, that's not my PS3. That's not my PS3. Nope, that's my PS3. There you go.
I met a bunch of the like sort of downstairs staff people. I don't know exactly where he works, but there's like
Carlos
sort of
is
folks and like the security people, and there are a lot of them are friendly. Is Gary right?
Gary.
I saw Gary walking around Queens once. And I was like,
does he live in Queens?
He's the man.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him because I had a moment of like, how do I know you? And I think we both had that for a second. And then by the time we passed, I was like, oh.
That's bizarre. Yeah. I had a fun story that I probably told because we've been doing this for 10 years. But there was a restaurant in Queens we used to go to all the time that I loved, this Brazilian place. And my wife and I would go there all the time. And then we went there, and the waitress wasn't there. And we asked, "Oh, it's the waitress. Oh, she's on vacation." Like, okay. And then 2 weeks later, we were on vacation in Italy and ran into her.
You told me this story.
That's weird.
And she came up to us and was like, "What are you doing here?" We're like, "Wait, oh my god!" And you do that thing where you're like, "Where do I know you from? Where do I know you from? Where?" Like college, high school, work. Where do I know you from? Like,
right, like seeing it out of context is like, what?
You're from? What do you do? That's impossible. Like, how is that possible? And it was super weird. Like, it's coincidentally.
Somewhat of a similar story. When I was living in Texas as a small child, we went to Disney World, which is in Orlando, Florida, totally different state across the country. While we were at Disney World, while we were on a ride at Disney World, the like horror ride, you know how in that like haunted mansion ride, you start in that like fake elevator?
Yeah.
It's like a big room full of like, so like I felt someone tug on my shirt and I turned and it was my friend from school. And not only were we at Disney World at the same time, not only were we around the same part of the park on the same ride, but we happened to be on the same ride at the same time and still saw each other. There's like 50 people in that little weird elevator.
Yes, Disney World is a gigantic place as well.
It was wild.
That doesn't seem so crazy.
That doesn't seem crazy. Well, okay, whatever.
I'm Jeff, just saying. You're a stinker.
Yeah. No. I forget. I don't know. Like sometimes we are like programmed to believe these like wild coincidences, and maybe they're not as wild as.
But this is not me being like, I saw a plane the day.
That's right.
I heard that my father got his pilot's license. You know what I mean? Like this is not me like seeing signs and related.
No, I know.
Like,
I know what you're saying.
No, I mean Jeff is right. I mean, it turns out the woman I had seen she took over my life eventually and had been stalking us and actually became me.
That makes sense.
An explanation
for like 6 months. So she had followed us there. Was in my luggage and had actually popped out just at that moment.
Yeah. I forgot to mention in my story that we invited that family and went and joined them on the ride.
That's right.
We told them.
And these are the details we're not talking.
And they had been staying with you since high school and kind of just lived with you. And actually, you went there together.
Yeah, it was my sister.
In fact, this didn't happen.
Turns out I didn't know my sister worked at that restaurant. And she had been there. It turns out I didn't even know I had a sister. It was super weird. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes the brain just kind of conjures these things up together. Yeah, really is. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be right back. Short news this week, so stay tuned. We're gonna be back with a bit of the news. Let me play this song. Make sure it is all working. Here we go. And we are back, folks. And we got some news today. Not a lot.
Get out of here.
Yeah, listen, it's not a lot of news, but it is some news to be had. I'm going to start with a little one I like to call Red Dead Online becoming its own separate game. That's going to happen this December.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, they're gonna
doing the Warzone thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be $5. So Red Dead Online will be $5.
I think it's starting at 5, then later it goes to 20. I think.
Yes,
right?
It's like until February 15th, it'll be $5, which is a discount. You get it on PS4, Epic Game Store, Rockstar Launcher, Steam, Xbox One, and then their backwards compat for the PS5 and the Series X. So yeah, heads up though, still takes 123 gigs just for the online part. It's a lot of gigs.
Still got to load in that whole world.
Yeah, right, exactly. So you still have a lot of assets to load in. But yeah, I still play Red Dead Online. I think it's okay. They're also going to do some expansion on some of the career stuff. I forget what they call them. The what is it called? The roles. They're gonna broaden them out a little bit. I would like another role. They kind of added the naturalist, and that wasn't my favorite. But yeah, some more of that. My brothers, I think they both maxed everything out, and I'm like, oh man.
Well, so here's a question. Let's call our shot right now.
Okay.
Someone pointed out earlier today that GTA 5 has outlasted more than an entire console generation. Like it came at the tail end of the PS3, 360 era, and lasted this entire generation as a huge moneymaker the whole way through. Will Red Dead Online outlast this console generation and still be a thing people are playing the next time around?
No,
don't discount it though. I feel like people wrote off GTA for a while and freaking. I
don't think so. I played a lot of GTA Online. When GTA Online came out, I played a lot of it, had a lot of fun. The matchmaking sucks. It still sucks, and they added so much shit that the UI couldn't keep up. It's sort of chaos in there on every level. But they've added a lot, and it was popular when it started, and I think it's still incredibly popular, obviously. Whereas I feel like Red Dead Online, there really was nothing when it came out. And I played a lot of Red Dead Online, and it pales in comparison.
It's not there. It's just not there.
Yeah, and I think even still it's struggling to come out with content, especially considering a lot of the content they are coming out with is paid for. As Vinny knows, you had to buy all the gold bars and shit, right?
You can earn them with the pass. You can earn them in game, but yes, you have to pay gold bars.
I think 90% of the GTA 5 online content, as far as I remember, seems to be free updates, and then you pay for the shark cards, points. Which people fucking do. But and granted, you maybe have to buy use all your money to buy a property or a DJ bar or whatever the shit is, a casino, whatever the new shit they've added to it is. But I feel like it's at least maybe they hide the transactions better in GTA Online.
I think platform-wise they're at a disadvantage with Red Dead Online just because of the setting, and I think in GTA Online they can do wilder stuff and more and bigger updates, and I think they're very creative people there. I'm sure they can figure it out, but I think it's a little tougher. Flying cars or this kind of car, there's only so much you could do with the horses unless you just really want to break the fiction entirely, and even the weapons, it's a little more restrictive. But you can tell you could see the amount of iteration in GTA Online, and Red Dead Online is not iterated that quickly. The season passes are not that fast. There are big gaps between them.
I liked Red Dead Online, sort of. I put money into it. I have a whole white outfit. I look very cool in Red Dead Online, but it's not the same. I also think, like you were saying, Vinny, the GTA 5 story also is kind of goofy, is kind of silly, has all these weird moments of that works in multiplayer chaos. Whereas I don't think the Red Dead Redemption 2 story works as well with that. I also think Red Dead Online, Red Dead 1 Online, I really like their online mode, but I liked the gang hideouts. Does Red Dead 2 Online have stuff like that? Because I liked the loop of the gang hideouts and doing them alone and doing them with friends. Both were fun. But I feel like when I did Red Dead Online, a lot of the shit I was doing was matchmaking, PvP multiplayer, which I didn't really enjoy, and then was kind of roaming around grabbing flowers in a world that felt kind of barren.
So the bounty hunter stuff is neat. You get big bounties that sometimes are multi-tiered, where you'll posse up and go get a bounty or for 5 people, and those can be fun. And there are bigger missions, but I haven't run into anything that's like a big heist, like the heist style missions. Which I think there's a new heist in GTA Online, which we should explore some.
There
of that.
is a new one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We get the
There's
gang
a
back
casino
together.
heist, right?
There's something about the submarines I saw. I don't know. Maybe the crime crew is.
Do we need to get the gang back together? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe the
Do
gang.
I actually get to fucking join this time?
No,
me and Dan are gone, so
you
maybe
you could be our eye in the sky, just like we always planned, switching the feeds.
Our Oracle.
Oracle. That's
didn't
it.
we
I said
actually,
Oculus.
we did
tried.
it once where I was doing something.
We did a
I forget
test.
what I did.
We did a test, but the thing was, it took so long to switch perspectives that it was unusable.
Yeah.
It was like, this takes like a minute and a half to switch your view from one player to the next. Okay, I guess we're just editing this in post. We're doing multiple up. All right. The other piece of news I grabbed here, Abby Russell. I know you like Fortnite. Do you like it?
I do.
Do you like it enough to pay a subscription to it?
Depends on what I'm getting with the subscription.
$12. Now you tell me what this means to you. $12 a month.
Okay.
The full battle pass for whatever the season is.
Okay. Can you buy the battle pass without the subscription or no?
Yes, I think you can still do
the
that.
battle pass is like $10 or something. Yeah, you get the battle pass.
You buy a battle pass, but like honestly, the seasons last like 3 or 4 months. They last a while. Maybe not, but they feel like 3 or 4 months in quarantine, so that's what I'm sticking with.
You get 1,000 V-Bucks every month.
It's not that much.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, $10 worth of V-Bucks, but like it's in the scheme of things for a month. Okay. Can't really even get like a skin.
An
set.
exclusive monthly cosmetics bundle.
Depends on what the bundle is.
And they said they'll never, ever give, Epic has said they will never give it away outside of this subscription. Or yeah. And it's called the Fortnite Crew.
Most cosmetics, I am happy to just purchase on my own. I feel like the popular ones, the like cool ones, are not the ones I want. The ones I want are the freaky weird ones that nobody wants to buy. Like please, if that like weird like car balloon, like car dancing
Wavy
guy,
tube man.
the car, the car salesman, wavy tube guy. If the lady version of that ever comes back into the shop, please let me know. Tweet at me, let me know, call me, somebody tell me I'm buying it right away.
No, don't say it. Now they have it. Now whatever is open, your phone, your TV just knows, and it's going to be like the first exclusive for the Fortnite Crew is a female wavy tube person. It's you're going to
start getting fucking Amazon ads for actual wavy tube men. They're going to try and sell them to you.
Worth it. That was the dream all along.
So yeah, it's 12. I guess it really is no surprise. It comes down to how much you play and how much you're spending already, and if it's worth it.
And like my thing is, I play a lot, but I don't mind the amount I'm buying V-Bucks. Sometimes I'm a little like, all right, I gotta maybe cool it on the skins, but for the most part, I don't. I don't buy that many that I feel like I need, and I just think that the incentives aren't doing it for me. Considering I can just buy the battle pass on my own, which is kind of what I want to do anyway.
Okay, interesting.
Because also the appeal of the battle pass. Granted, I still am putting money in to buy like skins and shit, so like it doesn't always happen. But you earn back enough V-Bucks to buy the next battle pass, so it's not like you're even doing a monthly subscription or like a seasonal subscription for that. Because oftentimes it's like, well, I have the like 950 V-Bucks or whatever to just get this battle pass because I'm like level 130.
But if you're spending, let me posit this: if you're getting $10 a month in the V-Bucks, and the subscription is $12 a month, if you're spending at least $10 a month, or a little bit more, then you might as well get the subscription, right? If you're getting $10 a month of V-Bucks. I
kind of see your logic.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I am spending $10 a month.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
I think more importantly, I don't think I should be spending $10 a month.
Fair enough. You know what? I am totally down. If people have the means and they're responsible and this is where they want to
like supporting it.
Like you've said with The Sims before, I've said with other games, if you're getting enjoyment over the course of a long run in these things, and and the money gets you there, and you're in a place where you can do it, and it's not making hard choices between food and V-Bucks, then go for it. We joke, but like it is probably
just like you say that, and then I have a visual in my head, and it's just so insane. So I'm sorry.
I mean, like
I know. It's just a cartoon appears in my head where someone is like
flapjacks in one and V-Bucks on the other, and just like but
just
I love flapjacks.
I do have a Fortnite complaint. Can I do my Fortnite complaint really quick?
Okay, yeah. Abby's sure. Fortnite minute. Okay.
It's deeply upsetting for me.
Okay.
So there's a fishing mechanic. I don't know if I've talked about this. I don't think I have.
You definitely did, because I said you can fish in Fortnite, and you're like, oh,
okay, maybe I have, but I'm still complaining about it.
So there's a mechanic of fishing. Get it?
You can fish in Fortnite, and like some fish you can only catch in certain areas. Sometimes you can only catch them during the day, whatever, or during at night. Or with like a special pro rod. I caught all 40 fish.
Nice.
I caught all of them. On my thing, it shows 40 fish. On all of my friends' accounts, it shows like 38 fish. But I caught all 40. I caught all 40 fish.
I don't know.
I got 2 Midas fish, the most rare fish in the game. I caught every single one.
Did you, though?
I've caught them all. I'm like trying to catch them again to see if that will trigger. I like don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I spent all this time. I was the first in my friend group to get all 40 fish. Now they all have it. And it looks like I'm the one who's behind.
Wait,
I was first.
Everybody else has 40 of 40 that shows up, but you only show 38 of 40?
Yes.
Wow.
But I was the first. I was the first to do it, and I don't know why it's happening, and it's like so upsetting because I was the first. I spent so much time doing it. There was real tension between some of my friends who were doing it, because let's just say one person was trying to go after them originally, and then I was like, that seems fun, I'll do it, and then I got all of them before that person. Anyway, whatever. There's also like stuff about like getting them in the battle lab versus like the real map. I got all mine, and I got one in the battle lab, and then I got it again in the real map. So I have them all real, but there's a whole thing of like real versus not real. And
how do they know?
More fun. We're honest about it. We talk about it, but then there's always a thing that's like, I want to get it the real way. Not that yours aren't real.
That means, you know what I mean? Means you got it during a match.
There was like it was like weirdly contentious for a while when we were all fishing.
Yeah.
But I think my punishment and my karma is that it didn't. I want my 40 fish. I want my acknowledgement.
Well, here's what we need to do. We need to get Tim Sweeney on the horn. We need to say, hey, Timbo, Tim buddy, Tim guy.
Tim.
Drop this fucking lawsuit with Apple.
Yeah.
Stop your your civil rights battle against Apple. And fucking,
Tim seems very rational right now. He'll
listen. I need you to fucking sit down, and I need you to fix this right now, because you have a user that is suffering, that is in pain, and your bullshit doesn't matter anymore. You need to fix this.
And then Tim will tweet out that basically like, this is just like the moonshot. This is like getting a person on the moon, fixing Abby's fish. It's equivalent to launching a human into space, getting 40 out of 40 fish.
Fix my fish.
What if it said 41 out of 40 fish?
I would love
that.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's
Put in an Abby fish. That's the solution.
Secret fish.
Have an Abby fish.
No, don't say these things aloud. You know they're listening. Now it's going to be like, well, for 8,000 V-Bucks, you can get an Abby.
Worth it.
Why does not come with the monthly subscription?
Why is this fish YBBA?
This fish is hard to read.
I don't understand what this says. I'll never be able to pronounce this.
This fish won't stop talking about herself.
And Fortnite.
Nice.
Wavy tube Abby. That's what you need. Alex, what else is news?
They got a few quick hits here. So Phil Spencer was out there giving some interviews over the last week or so, and is bandying the idea that there will be an Xbox app possibly coming to smart TVs next year. This would be for streaming games, essentially, the way you would stream stuff on any other app on your smart television. Using the xCloud service. This is not a guarantee that it will happen in the next 12 months. He was definitely kind of spitballing some stuff here, but it sounds like something they are exploring at doing, and which he mostly went in this interview to talk about. Isn't it crazy how TVs have stuff in them now? Which I get it. That is crazy. Yes, TVs are not just CRT things anymore. But yeah, a lot of this interview seems to be him just being like, TV's a platform. We just need to bring an app to the platform like everything else.
He's right. It says here, is it really a TV anymore? And he's right. Is it a TV anymore? Is your phone?
It is. It's a TV in the way that a phone is still a phone.
Yeah. Is it really your phone? I mean, Phil's a smart guy. He's no dummy. And
no, for sure. Sometimes you read quotes like that, and you're like, he probably would love to have heard the way that was delivered. Or you're like.
Well, he said, is it really a TV anymore, or is it just the form and function of the devices that we used to have around our TV consolidated into one big screen that I'm looking at? And that's true. Everything that's like it's sucked into the TV.
I mean, it was true a decade ago. I feel like, so.
They're better now, though, for real. They are.
They're still garbage.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. I am endlessly unimpressed with TV apps.
Oh, mine on. I like the ones on my TV.
On the native to the television.
Yeah,
I don't like them. Well, I've only really used the Vizio ones, but they feel like kind of mud. They feel like so clunky and slow. I also feel like half the time I hit back and things get funny. I find having an Apple TV, it's so much better. It is so much better.
I have my own issues with Apple TV, but yeah, I mean, I'd rather use Apple TV than what?
No, I don't know. Everybody's making faces at
the
LG ones.
I mean, we have the same television.
I think the Amazon and the Netflix app are pretty snappy. Even the Disney app on there is pretty snappy.
The Plex app works pretty well.
I'm pretty happy with it so far. I had an old Fire Stick.
The only one that actively sucks on LG, I feel like, is the YouTube app. That thing, it never seems to work right. The search thing takes forever. I've had weird issues with that.
My YouTube app gets a litlittle funny on my Apple TV as well, though. So
my whole thing is fine, you want to use the app for Netflix, that's going to work fine, whatever it is, but you're still going to always need the extra thing, right?
Why?
I don't know. There's certain apps I just can't get on the LG one, and some of them are broken, like the YouTube one.
I think HBO isn't on the LG right now, which is
there we go. And HBO Max isn't on Roku's. It's all fucking disaster.
Yeah, a little bit. Not a big disaster, but a little bit. Anyway, the Xbox app would be neat. It seems like I'm surprised that isn't there already. Alex, what else?
I can't remember if we talked about this last week or not, so I'm just going to briefly touch on it here. We've talked a little bit about the ongoing DMCA struggles on streaming platforms with games that use licensed music, or in some cases, unlike music that isn't even licensed. It's literally just the music in the game, or in some cases, literally just the sound effects that are in the fucking game. Anyway, sorry, getting heated. Calm blue ocean. Calm blue ocean. Whoosa. Okay, I'm good. So Cyberpunk 2077, a game that is allegedly still coming out this year. They have gone, yes, in a couple weeks. They have gone to the extra step, which I don't think they're the only game that's done this, but they're the only ones that I've seen publicize this. They are adding a setting in the game where basically songs that think might be a problem will be disabled if you are streaming and playing the game.
The songs that might be a problem, all of them.
Yeah. That's the thing that's not really specified here. There's a big licensed soundtrack for this game, but they are not specifying which ones might cause the problems. Because I'm guessing they probably don't actually know yet, and at some point they will find out as soon as people start getting DMCA takedowns for those streams. I imagine there's some that they're in there that are just okay, yeah, this is a big enough label and a big enough company that they're probably just going to do it anyway. But it's just such a stupid problem for them to have to solve. And I get that this is probably desirable for people to not have to guess which songs they think will trigger these takedowns. But God, is there just anything less cyberpunk than having to build in a tool set to just, turn off music? Yes. Yeah,
yes,
they should at least have a cool cyber effect that plays over those songs to pitch mute them in a way so that the DMCA won't recognize it or something. Just as it is, it just feels like just trying to make sure the labels don't sue us, and that is just the least punk rock thing imaginable.
Just don't want to be sued here. Cyberpunk. Trying to dodge a lawsuit.
I don't know, man.
Make sure the spray paint you use on the face recognition cameras can be wiped off and cleaned off very easily. I don't want to be sued by them. If we don't break them, don't break it. That's you're right. That's funny. But also, why are we playing this game? this feels like a weird this doesn't feel like the way.
No, none of this feels like the way, but unfortunately it's where we're stuck.
Not playing this game Cyberpunk. I mean, trying to fit streaming into this it's like sneaking through the giant's lair, trying to get to the other side of the beans. I guess that doesn't really work. Anyway, there was like the Jack and the Beanstalk thing, but he is actually stealing the golden heart. It doesn't work. Get your beans, plant your beans, ride your beanstalk, ride your personal beanstalk to the clouds is what I'm saying.
Beans, more beans.
Yeah, good for your heart.
I'm sorry, the beans are copyrighted.
Oh fuck.
It's beans. This is food.
Yeah. Has your computer running?
You're acting like food patents don't exist.
This is beans.
These are beans.
This is food.
That's good. Nice one. All right, Alex, what else we have?
I think about it all the time.
All right, Vinny, I just threw this one in here for you because I just saw this. There is a new update coming to Flight Simulator, I believe this week.
Okay.
And they are doing some significant improvements, primarily, I think, around North America. So they added some new handcrafted airports in Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth. They have also added a bunch of like high fidelity, like landmarks and major points in the U.S. and like more detailed versions of it. So like Statue of Liberty, Kennedy Space Center, Hoover Dam, Monument Valley, Yellowstone, Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, the Grand Canyon, the second Grand Canyon. The Valley of Death, the corn maze of Nebraska,
the
corn place,
Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower,
the Band Canyon.
Hi, what's the Devil's Tower and where is it?
It's in one of those national parks. I forget which.
It's the one with the portal. You go through the portal and then
portal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like Wyoming Garado.
It's in the middle of Wyoming. There's a portal to hell. Everybody knows this. You go through the portal to hell. Devil's Tower. It's great. It's a real scare. And then spend an eternity in there. Neat. Free.
Yep. Free update. Update.
Can't wait to download 1 million gigs.
I imagine.
No, it's all streaming in.
This is just going to be the story of this game for at least the next couple of years, is them just going back over different patches of the world and just making it look better for a long while.
Like, oh shit, we forgot Kentucky.
If people want to make the world better, I am all for it. 150 gigs at a time.
Lord knows we're not doing it, so someone can take it.
Exactly. Flight Simulator, making the world better. And anything else, Alex?
Yeah, one more little doodad here. So in addition to the new characters that came to Mortal Kombat, there is a new skins pack that is coming that includes the actors that portrayed Johnny Cash, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage. Fuck me.
Johnny Cash. Put Johnny Cash in MK, cowards.
Yeah, he fell into a burning ring of fire and his skeleton came out. And Raiden. So it is the other two actors and Christopher Lambert doing the characters from the original movie. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I wish they would go the extra mile and include Rubber Suit Goro, but hey, like we can't get everything. Christopher Lambert's in a fucking video game. That's funny.
That is funny. Good. I hope he.
Yeah.
I hope he got paid.
I'm sure he did.
All right. Bacalar, you got a news story here. What's up?
No, it's just like a speedrunner cheesed Demon Souls and finished it in under 20 minutes.
Is that a record? That's a new record?
Well, I'm not very fluent in the technicalities of like
follow it.
Because this is involving wrong warping.
Sorry?
Do you know what that is?
Sorry,
warping?
I'm sorry, you're going to have to be...
Wrong warping?
So, I'm sorry.
I would write warping.
It has to do with like, they're cheesing the game. They're like, they're exploiting some sort of glitch and they're able to like jump around through the Archstone. I don't know what Demon Souls is. I just don't know what this game is.
Somebody beat it in 20 minutes though, which is impressive.
I play it and I play it for 4 hours and I feel some sense of accomplishment. I turn it back on and I'm back to where I started from.
Oh yeah, that's
in the game. And I know what's going on. I'm not a fucking moron, but it's just there's some. Well, I know, but it does a really good job at like not motivating you to want to continue. And nevertheless, you can watch a YouTube video of some person cheesing the game along. and finishing in under 20 minutes, which is, I think a hilarious idea.
Frighteningly fast.
Talking about Demon Souls, yes.
Anybody else have any news they want to get to before we move on?
No, there's an Animal Crossing update. I think it just happened last week. Seems like they're adding new hairstyles, which is exciting. More hairstyles that aren't just like white people straight hair, basically. It looked like hairstyle that like is curly looking, which I'm excited for. It's like made me want to maybe go back into it to be like, well, let's check this out. Granted, every update I'm like, maybe this is the one, and then I still haven't booted it up in like months. But
did you ever get your art? Weren't you
mean
no,
fossil?
Your fossil. Sorry,
my one fossil. No, I did not, Vinny. Thank you for spitting salt in the wound. I don't know how that phrase works.
I spit salt right in that wound. Old salt spitter, Vinny. So wait, you're one fossil away and also 2 fish away, huh? Wow.
Oh, God, no, I got all the fish, Vinny.
No.
I got
every time
fish.
I see you log in, it's just okay.
Forever 2 fish away.
Well, the stupid thing about the fish too is like nobody fucking checks the fish.
No,
weirdly, my friends got real into it for like a week, but like nobody gives a shit about the fish. Like nobody looks at them ever.
You know what I give a shit about? Emails. And we're going to get to it right after this break. Only a couple of emails. We're going to wrap up and get this Thanksgiving break started. So hang tight, folks. We'll be back in just a moment.
Just a moment.
And we are back. And it is time for emails. If you have an email, send them into beastcast@giantbomb.com. That is beastcast@giantbomb.com. I want to say thanks to everybody who emailed in, and also some very, very nice emails coming in. Abby, for you.
Yes, thank you to everyone. I was going to thank everyone for the kind emails. Very much appreciated. I read all of them. Someone sent me one that had a picture of their snake with a little carrot hat. That was very cute. So thank you so much to that person. I'm sorry, I forget your name at this point, but I really enjoyed that little snake hat. Anyway, yes, thank you for the kind emails. Very much appreciated. In all honesty, that was the majority of the emails. It's also a short week, which usually means we're going to be light on emails anyway. So we have 2 emails this week. Nice and quick, nice and short.
Yeah.
But no, I read them even if we're not reading them. The kind emails are not for the air. You know what I mean?
They were super nice, and I saw them because I was also looking to see if anybody had emailed me more stuff about my kid's account being banned. I
saw you pop because I was like, it looks like Vinny was on here, and then I saw you reply to like the one thing about like.
I replied to somebody.
I forwarded you their response.
I was like, these are all just really nice emails to Abby. Where somebody else emailed me about my kid's account here.
Where's the PSN person?
Come on. So Abby, what do we have for emails this week?
Okay. Jeff, will you please read this one from Nathan?
Tell us your favorite joke.
Okay. Thank you to Jeff and to Nathan. Vinny, you were excited for this one. Should you go first?
So one of my favorite jokes that is appropriate for the air is I think
what's not appropriate for the air.
You would do,
He's got some body limericks that he's saving for a rainy day.
Let's hear it, Vinny, you filthy fuck. Let's hear it.
I think this is a joke you really like, and I think you told it to me, Abby. So if this is your favorite joke, I apologize, and if I tell it incorrectly, I apologize as well.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
But I really like it. Okay.
Is this how the stand-up bit goes? Where you're
no, actually, I just thought of I think Abby's other favorite joke, but it involved a bee, but it's not this one. Okay.
Okay.
So a guy gets his groceries and goes to the checkout.
Let's hear it, Vinny. I've never heard this one before.
All right. Okay, is this it? All right.
Yeah, I do like. It's also my favorite, so I want to hear Vinny's delivery.
Okay, I do like this joke a lot.
It's so good.
It's good. Guy goes.
I told it to a doctor once.
Okay. Guy goes gets his groceries, goes to the checkout. He's just got one cart full of groceries. Goes to the checkout counter, and the woman there starts checking him out. He's got frozen peas. He's got Hot Pockets. He's got a quart of milk. He's got some Twinkies, and as she's checking this stuff out, she goes, "Lonely night by yourself?" And he goes, he goes. He goes,
"This is not how you tell a joke."
And he goes, "Yeah, how'd you know from you can tell that just from the stuff you're checking out?" And she goes, "No, because you're ugly." So wait, I bet
you got the heart of it.
Yeah. All right, Abby, can you tell the same joke? All right, tell. Okay,
sure. I'll tell the exact same joke.
That's the most Abby my favorite joke I've ever heard.
I love this joke so much. Okay. So there's a guy at the grocery store. He's checking out, and this cute cashier, she's checking him out. She rings him up for like one TV dinner, and like, oh, a single, like one of those small bags of chips, and like a single beer, and then like a small pint of ice cream. Now she rings him in. She goes, "Hey, are you single?" And he goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And she says, "'Cause you're ugly."
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better. I thought,
but I liked your version of it. Hey, sad and lonely night in.
It's like I knew at the time when I was like, wait, she says something. What did she say? I couldn't remember.
No, but it's good.
Living a pathetic existence much.
Abby sets it up better though. I'm sorry, Vin.
No, Abby's is much better.
I liked your version, but your version was just like, here's a bunch of groceries, and then
you're ugly.
Yes. Whereas I think the point of mine is like single items. Maybe she's into him. No,
right, because you call her cute. You call her cute.
Yes.
What's the scariest type of bee?
No, I'm not going to ruin this one too. What kind of bee? No, my other favorite joke. What kind of bee makes milk instead of honey?
What's the scariest bee?
A booby.
A booby.
What's the scariest bee? Oh, a booby. That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's also a scariest bee. I like my X-rated version of it better.
What's that one?
Oh, that's the booby one.
Yeah.
That's the movie. That's more of a rated R, maybe PG-13.
Well, we just had 4 fantastic jokes.
Yes, me and Vinny, well, we're the funny ones of the group. We already got ours out of the way. So good luck, fellas.
It's really fun telling your kids dumb jokes because they think it's the funniest fucking shit they've ever heard.
Yes.
Like this isn't a joke, and I will tell my favorite joke I have with my son at the moment. It really is like a weekly basis, but he's so funny because they're so young and he's so dumb at the same time, right? Like, so he's like, he comes home from school today and he goes, "Dad, you got to see this video we watched in school today." And I was like, "All right, what do I do? Like, what is it?" He goes, "Just search Doug video."
Doug video?
I'm like, what? It's just funny hearing him search. Like, I'm like, dude, let me teach you about a little word called specific.
He searches the internet like I do.
It's just so, you're getting a run for your money for the title of the worst searcher. He's just like, where is it? I'm just like, bro. Human knowledge.
All right, let's see what comes up. Do I have to search YouTube for Doug video?
No, it took like 7 other times. Don't search it. It took like we had to go layer by layer. We finally found it. But it was just so funny where he was like, "Oh yeah, you just searched the thing I saw in school. The internet's the size of this block. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna bump right into it." Anyway, his favorite joke right now is what happened when the butcher stepped into his what the fuck?
You're as good as I am. Yeah.
I'm the worst joke teller. I got to think about it. Go to Alex.
All right, Alex, your favorite joke.
Oh God, I don't really know any jokes. Fucking a priest and a rabbi and an imam walk into a bar. They all got concussions.
Okay.
Oh, no. I remember the joke. Okay. Here, I'll fix that.
That's all I got. I'm sorry. I don't know jokes.
What happened when the butcher backed into his meat grinder by accident?
Oh, jeez.
He grinded his meat.
He got a butt.
He got a little behind in his work.
Okay, that's a funny joke. Yeah, that's gross.
I don't get it though.
He's behind his butt.
Around a bit of his little behind.
His butt got chopped up in a meat
smaller?
grinder. His butt got chopped up and it took a little slice off.
His work is grinding meat for a living, and he got his own ass.
A little behind.
So I get it, but I just.
It's
no, it's okay. I mean,
it's no dark and lonely evening.
No, it's no just mean ugly joke.
Dark and lonely evening by yourself.
Dark.
Is that what I said? Is that
something like that?
Dark and
lonely. My kids will do a thing where we're at the table and they'll just ask for jokes constantly. So I just have to make up jokes for like 20 minutes.
Fun.
And if you like puns, boy, you better buckle up.
I do like puns.
And then my daughter sits there like a fucking empress and just does thumbs up or thumbs down for each joke.
I love that.
Boo! And I initially, okay, your turn, Max. You live. She judges the jokes.
You know, I'm starting to like appreciate though. Like, are your kids aware of like, oh, there's a lot of stupid people around? Like, are they starting to pick up on that?
No, we don't.
See, like my kid watches. No, I don't like tell. Sometimes when I'm in the car, I'll be like, "Oh, you see this guy in front of us, Dylan? We talked about losers, right?" Like,
you got to teach your kids about losers eventually,
because there's a fuckload of them. He was watching that show Cannonball. You ever hear of this show? It's basically one of these like, let's see how how far we could launch somebody into water or something like this, like one of those shows.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's like one of these like stunt
Wipeout?
shows. Yeah. Although I heard someone died on one of them recently. Anyway. Anyway, that's not what this is about. So they do these like little, interviews that are just like cringe central. It's just impossible to watch these people. Like, they introduce themselves and they're like, why do you, tell us a little about yourself. And he'll watch it. And depending on like their, he's very judgy and he'll be like, oh, he's like, it's going to be a shame to watch this guy get hit in the face with a big,
wait,
ball.
Like sarcasm? Wait, he does sarcasm?
I love that. I love it and I respect it.
And Stacey will like look at me. She'll like make eye contact and she'll be like, "Is this what we're doing?" I
wonder where he's getting that. Yeah,
I don't know. He probably just through osmosis.
Yeah,
or like
probably
just the blood. Just the blood.
Yeah, the blood that we
born into it.
Wow,
but it's pretty funny. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a real shame when this guy breaks his neck." It's just like,
that's amazing.
And I'm like, "You're not." I'm like. And I'm like, Stacey, I have to reward him with that. For that. That was funny.
Yeah, definitely.
That was funny.
No, that's a good joke. Little behind.
There you go. A little behind. Why was the sand wet?
Why?
Because the seaweed.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good.
I like that one.
Yeah.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
I
have no idea.
Oh, that's like the what do you call it?
Jeff didn't like that one. He did like a forehead touch.
What do you call the fish with no eyes?
Dead.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's real. That's good.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef. That was good.
All right.
I hate jokes.
Utterly terrible.
I hate jokes.
Let's move on.
Utterly terrible. That's good. That's pretty good.
Let's move on to the next email. Wow, we stretched that one out for a light email.
I know.
Good job. For us.
Why don't you read this one from Travis? No jokes to be seen.
Sure thing. Travis says, I was in the mood for an arcade racer, so I picked up Dirt 5 today. After a couple of races, I was astounded by how good it looked. I'm playing on a 2080 Ti, but I'm sure the new gen stuff looks as good as well. I had seen the quick look in other videos, and it was not even close to what rendering it locally produced. That game is overloaded with mud flying, confetti, snow, rain, fireworks, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. All those little particles just get kind of crushed by video compression. The consoles are obviously selling well at launch, but how do you sell non-enthusiasts on a 4K HDR PS5 when the only footage they have seen is a YouTube video on their phone? Also, in an age of cloud gaming and Twitch streams directly impacting sales, do you think studios will take considerations like how well a game can be streamed in design and hold back on crazy particle and smoke effect like things, like contrasting light and dark scenes that don't compress well? Thanks, says Travis in Maryland.
I think that's an interesting conversation to have, for sure.
It's one that we've kind of been having on and off as the move toward 4K video, 4K streaming, and all that stuff goes. Like, we've talked a little bit about HDR and sort of the limitations of what can be done with HDR outside of like modern HDTV environments. Like Vinny, I feel like you've got probably some strong feelings about this stuff.
It's very funny they mentioned Dirt 5 because I was just in a meeting with Fred. Abby, you know Fred, right?
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about this, and he's like, "Oh, I could really. We're gonna be kind of testing some new compression stuff, as we do the transition from RV and all that stuff. It's like if you have anything." And I was like, "I'm gonna send you Dirt 5 footage." He's like, "I was like that game. I'm gonna send you that game. It's got rain, exactly what this said. It's got tiny particles. It goes from like 0 to 60." In a second. It's got motion blur. Like you go from a static image to just spinning around with motion blur in a second, which destroys compression because compression really wants to say, okay, what's different from this frame to this frame?
Right.
What's different? And we're just gonna render the thing that's different. Everything's cool. And then in a video game, it goes from that to being a completely different palette in one frame. And that's where you get those like artifacts that are like, I don't know what to do. And then it's like, okay, I figured it out. So yeah, video games have and probably always will be a video nightmare. It is a thing in the industry that really there's just nothing like it. It is.
Yeah, but I think it's going to get. I'm sorry, I don't want to.
Well, they all get better, but I feel like it's always the tip of the spear on so much stuff. Like if you walk into a lot of broadcast houses, and maybe this has changed. I haven't been in one in a while, but they're not 4K 60. They're like some of them are still like 1080i, 30, because. That fidelity doesn't need to be there. There are movie houses and stuff doing this stuff to deliver, but it's kind of a novelty. And when, you talk about like, hey, I need 4K 60 capture, they're like, what the hell are you doing? It's like,
right.
Oh, video games. And it needs to be HDR compliant. It needs to be pass-through, and it needs to have to strip DHCP and all this stuff. And then the compression stuff, which... it used to be porn, and I think it's video games leading the way on some of this stuff now, right? It used to be...
No, it's still porn, but they're doing their own thing off to the side as well.
Places like Twitch and YouTube and a lot of... They have made amazing technology strides in... I mean, think about how latency works now and how fast you can compress something locally, get it to somebody else, decompress it in sometimes under a second of latency, like across the internet. That's amazing technology that is going on here. So yeah, I think will people design their games with that in consideration to be like, this is a streaming game? I don't see why not, but I would not look at it in the same way I look at things that are like, oh, you designed this to be a money sink, or you designed this game specifically to have like this loop where I need to pay you money, or you're gating me. Like I don't know if I would ever call it out in a game. Like games aesthetically take on so many different things. I don't think I'd ever be like, you took the particle effects out so you can make this stream better. So I don't know if I would ever notice it. But yeah, it's video games are super hard on compression. Compression ratios and compression rates change over time. They will get better. I think we're like skipping H.265 and going like right to H.266 at some point, but that stuff all is very intensive on the decoding end, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's amazing. The technology is absolutely amazing, but video games continue to want to put more shit in their game and break it more. Sorry, Jeff, what were you going to say about it getting better?
No, I just think it's constantly getting better, and I think you're not. I don't really think it'll be much of an issue for that much longer. Seriously, I do think like you can already watch a lot of streams that look not 1-to-1, but mostly indistinguishable from a stream to your local source kind of stuff. It really just depends on the source hardware, right? Like that is really what dictates what how good something's gonna look once it's going out. And I feel like
I think it's a component. It'll never look better than that.
No, it's not gonna. How could it? Right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna look better. But I'm constantly impressed with that sort of stuff, and I think compression has come a really long way, and it's only gonna get better. And I realize like it's sort of like this, cat and mouse game where bit rates get higher, compression gets better. Like one's gonna sort of, stay more ahead of the game than the other, but I do think we're headed towards a point, and even examples of it now where like things are looking really good. I mean, like the example Travis has in his email, like with the particle stuff. I mean, like, sure, when you're watching that on your phone, that to me is an example of just like, you're literally shrinking an image down to where there's just not enough pixels on the screen for you to see all the things that you would see maybe on like a monitor or something like that. So, I think the biggest issue is people having the right hardware, and is also because there are so many different screens and platforms and things to watch things on. I do think that, plays into like a lot of the confusion and fragmentation of the whole thing. But I mean, I like there's productions now that are shooting in 8K, and it's like very much a standard now. So I mean, people are invested in it in for that future kind of thing. Like all the shows that Stacey's on now are all doing 8K HDR, which is crazy.
Right, but again, you shoot, that's your source material, your deliverable.
No, sure. Right. Yeah, edit it. Yeah, I mean they edit in 4K. They edit in a very, very compressed 4K, right. but
yeah, and sometimes they'll edit that stuff in a proxy, but you have the source stuff.
I mean, now it's different because everyone's like remote and it's this whole other clusterfuck. But yeah,
but like you want that source material so that even if you're not there yet, in 5 years you can release the UHD version or whatever, right. the super version that plays on your 8K, even if you have to release your compressed 4K, because stuff gets better, the technology catches up. But if you can record that source, totally. And it's one of the reasons why one of the idiotic reasons why I keep high bitrate masters is because eventually we've done it once on the site, recompress everything to meet the technology, right? Like you can't, and this is a hard part in delivering this stuff. You can't exceed what the consumer can take down, right? Like I can upload a 300 megabit per second file, but nobody's gonna be able to watch that, or right. They'd have to, to download it. You're talking like 150 gig download. Like you could do it. People torrent that stuff all the time for their home theater stuff, but that's not a reasonable ask. And so as that technology gets better, again, compression ratios get better, decompression ratios get faster and better. Everybody's bare minimum CPU gets better, or that stuff gets offloaded to graphics cards, whatever. The technology gets better. The other thing that is interesting about it is some companies now, I think Netflix does this. This was again in this meeting. We were talking about it. They find, how a lot of sites will be like high, medium, low, or like here's the 1500 version, the 3000 version, the 5000 version, the 8000 version. They're getting away from that and just kind of using AI and algorithm. I'm not going to explain this super well, but to notice when you get diminishing returns on perception of the quality of it. So if you do a whole movie, it's not a blanket, hey, all of our movies get this 1500, 3000, 5000. They look at the movie and they say, after 1500 megabits per second, there's no discernible difference. We're just going to keep this one here. We're not going to move up anymore. Or like, I think there's an 80% threshold. Like 80% of it's fine. There's a 20%. Like it's not worth the money to us to serve these other versions. And I think that's really interesting. And again, I'm not sure I got that 100% right, but as we move forward, I don't know if you have all seen the like AI remastering of stuff when you don't have a
that's cool.
Like that stuff is also amazing, where like you don't have great source material and you just give it to a computer and say, make this better. And
that new Shield does something like that.
Okay.
With like 10, with low res stuff, it'll like do some wild shit to it. Yeah.
That stuff, that stuff is wild to me. And Anyway, good question, Travis. I mean, it's a very complicated issue. Literally, there are engineers and scientists working on this, and I don't say that in a hyperbole. Like that's how we're getting stuff now, is through these compression algorithms and stuff, and it's wild. Do you guys remember when OnLive was announced?
Yes,
it was a precursor to Stadia and all this stuff, and it was just like, is this gonna work ever? I don't know. We'll never be in this situation. And it was like, this guy was an ex-founder of QuickTime, so like he knows what he's doing.
Yes, QuickTime, that brand we all know and love.
It's still a thing.
Yeah,
get the
QuickTime Pro player.
Passive thing on my computer, but it'll play shit.
I think that's going to do it for the emails. No corrections because we run a perfect show here every time.
Perfection.
Every single time. Abby, it's been a hell of a run. It's been a pleasure to have you as part of the crew here, the staff. You have made your mark on this giant bomb nonsense. I hope you have enjoyed the majority of your time here and exit in a better place than you entered. I think that is the hope we have for everybody here. Come in and exit in a better spot. You're leaving Giant Bomb in a better spot.
Spread my wings.
Spread your wings and take off. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me learn with all of you and get to know all of you. I'm sure we better stay in touch. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Also, this job, for better and for worse, changed my life and will change my life forever. Like, that's it. Yeah. And I'm incredibly thankful for not only the opportunities this job has provided me, but also the people I've met. I'm so thankful that these are now my friends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
hopefully there's more better than worse. I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But yeah,
listen, it's a tough job. There's a lot of stuff that comes wrapped up with this job that is like mentally taxing, emotionally taxing, and dealing with that stuff. I feel like I remember when you were interviewing being like, it's not. There's the social part of this stuff is sometimes not very good. And that stuff is tough, and I think you were in a very particular situation too, where you had to shoulder a lot of it. So that stuff is rough, but I think there are a lot of amazing people that are also out there as well, aside from
absolutely
a lot of very.
I wasn't trying to imply that there weren't.
No, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, and he definitely was.
Yeah, and there are people that will get under your skin and try to tear you apart. Yeah. It's but you've been a lot of fun, and I love the energy you brought to the show. And I told you my favorite joke, and I'm so sad you stole it.
I did. I stole it. Your version's so much better.
Just take that with you, workshop it, and carry a little piece of it with you.
I'll be sure to give you credit every time I say it. Yes, it's been a genuine pleasure. I've grown up a lot since I've been working here, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm proud of the work I've done here, and I am excited for my future and for what more I can do coming up.
I'm excited for your future as well, and to come back around. We're just gonna
stay in touch.
We're gonna keep that square empty for the rest of it. We're just gonna have that microphone and a picture of your set there.
Okay, great.
And just someday we'll wait for you to just slide back into frame. You're like, whoo. Hey,
I'm gonna do it's just gonna be a still frame of you, and it's gonna be like the Conan O'Brien thing where they just animate the mouth, and we're gonna have one person doing the Abby mouth for every episode.
It's very. I think this. If you'll indulge me for a second, and allow me to to not be humble for you. It's amazing, like the people that come through. Like this will be an era of the podcast, right? Like this era of the Abby Russell version of the Beastcast will come to an end, and there'll be a different era. But like that's something to be proud of. Like this is your mark on this thing, and that's I
definitely am, and y'all welcomed me in here, and I really appreciate that as well. Thank you for being such gracious co-host and rotating chair, sub-host, as we like to call you.
It's below sub, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like kind of sidekick host.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I learned a lot about The Sims that I never knew before, and that's
is that my legacy?
Yes, I will carry that. I will never forget what an expansion of stuff, stuff pack, expansion pack.
I will never ever
game pack.
I will never forget my death at your hands.
Yeah, neither will. My mom still talks about Vinny's death. She's like, that one was upsetting.
Yeah, that was a real chiller. that was a lot. Abby, where can people follow you going forward?
Oh, great. Yes. So for now, you can follow me on Twitter under my name or at YBBAAABBY. Also Instagram, same name and handle. And then Twitch as well. I'll be streaming pretty regularly for the time being. It's transitional with these holidays, but I plan to stream through them. So please stick around for Twitch. I hope to keep streaming to there. And that's the same handle at YBBAAABBY.
Rolls right off the top.
Got it.
It does.
Yes. So the timing on this one is weird because we will be streaming with you tomorrow.
Yes.
But this will go up after that.
Yes.
So have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Abby, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.
I can't party with you all in person. Yeah.
For Thanksgiving, I don't know if that's weird. Will you come over to the house?
I'll say when I was dealing with getting some of my stuff out of the office, I emailed with Eugene, the famed Eugene. And he was like, "Oh, are you not staying here?" And I was like, "Well, Giant Bomb got bought, and I chose not to continue over with them." And he was like. And I was like, so I guess this is goodbye. Or I was like, I'm sorry, we can't say goodbye in person. He's like, I hate goodbyes. It's not goodbye. It's I'll see you later.
That's right.
And that's how I feel about all y'all.
Right.
It's not goodbye. I'll see you later.
Yeah. See you later.
Smell you later, Abby.
Yeah, I stink. People don't know this because of the podcast, but I smell bad.
Yeah, that's...
Imagine feet and rotten eggs. That's me.
No comment.
And here we go with the music. Folks, that's going to do it for this week's show. Heck of a run. What a run. 8,000 episodes. It's been a heck of a thing. Alex Navarro, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jeff Baclar, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to miss you, Abby.
I'm going to miss you guys too.
It's
I'm going to miss seeing you every day. Again, yes. It's also, I kind of already missed you in March. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, well, I'm used to not having you, so...
Abby, we will see you again soon, I am sure. But thanks again for everything, and thanks for everything you've brought to Giant Bomb. And thanks for helping me have a better life here at Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody at home. Have a safe holiday season. Be responsible. Be responsible. But have a great time. Have fun. Hug your family. Say hi to everybody. Take care of yourself. And this is not goodbye. This is...
See you later.
See you later. Bye, everybody. See you later, everybody. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. What a weird time for a birthday, but have a happy one anyway. See you, everyone.
Why'd you choose this week?
Responsible.